any recoil, I mean, if it's big recoil up front, right? Like they're gonna feel it. And then you go to a lesser caliber and you tell them like, hey, in theory, this one is not gonna kick. It's not gonna have the recoil or the sound, but they're still.
That first one, they're still gonna flinch it.
Yeah, they still have it ingrained, right?
Yeah, but that's why though, for Bones' situation, I was like, well, we should throw a suppressor on there, because Bones just ordered one, and it's gonna be a lot quieter. That's the one benefit of suppress thing for someone who's newer to shooting.
So she's gonna have to put a bunch of rounds down to like kind of get retrained,
right?
I was talking to him the other day, and it was something I was listening to, trying to get my son into hunting on the duck hunting side of the shotguns, because shotguns do kick harder. Like it's not as would be the word, Brady, like not as efficient of energy transfer as a rifle.
Yeah, it's kind of almost violent.
Yeah, like shotguns have more of that mule kick, and you shoot it a lot more. And I was listening to this thing from another duck hunter that said, just have them shoot like at nothing. Just shoot constantly. Like don't even aim. Just pick it up, shoot.
Get
just
rounds.
shoot everything. Yeah, shoot the grass, shoot the water, shoot the.
Right.
That's what I've done with turtle. Now he is kind of a bull in China shop in the first place, so like who knows? But he does not have a flinch. Like he's shooting clays now.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I know my youngest kid, he got a shotgun for Christmas a few years ago, and the first load that I put in, it was like way more than he could handle.
Yeah.
And we went out, he was excited Christmas morning, so we went out, and first shot, I mean, about knocked him on his ass, right? And then I was like, oh, well, that's not gonna work. So we shot it a couple more times, which I had to talk him into.
Yeah.
Because the first one was like such, ingrained in his brain, and then I went and got some different shells that were, lesser, lower charge. But I had to like talk him into it.
Yeah.
And it's taken like quite a while for him to be.
I was listening to a waterfowl guy who shotguns do kick a lot harder. They have more of that blunt mule kick feel.
Yeah.
You know, and if you mess up a kid on it, it's like, you know what I mean? Like
that
you
was one.
knock him over.
That was one round for him, and he was like, "Nope,
Yeah.
nothing with that."
Yeah.
Yeah, about knocked him on his rear.
So I bought him a single shot 410, and just anytime he wanted to shoot it, I'm like, yeah, shoot it. Wanted to make the water splash, shoot a
bush,
the tree bark. Wanted to see things blow up. I'm like, go for it. Don't even aim. Just point and shoot.
Yeah.
And then slowly worked him into starting to aim.
That's probably the move.
It was very good advice.
Yeah.
Because like I said, he's a bull in a China shop already. So who knows if he would have had a flinch or not? Because he's not a timid kid. But I mean, he's aiming now and he's not flinching. So I guess it did work. You know.
Yeah. So Bones, if you're listening, your rifle for your wife is dialed. Got 100 yard zero, got dope out to 400, got all the ballistics data built in my app, can transfer over to his. He's got to go out and validate now. He's quite comfortable.
You did that this morning? Nice.
Such a nice guy.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, cool. Should we hit promo? We got some promos to work through.
Yeah.
You want to hit us with Refer a Friend?
Yeah, so just a reminder, we have the Refer a Friend promo going on right now. I think it goes on majority of this month of August. And yeah, basically it's a way to get your friend, you have an insider membership and you have a bunch of buddies, so have them sign up for an insider account. They're gonna use your email address that you sign up for insider as the promo code field. So you sign up a buddy, they're gonna get 75 points in the Go Hunt Gear Shop, you're gonna get 75 points. Sign up another buddy, they're gonna get 75, you get 75. Sign up a third buddy, they get 75, you get 75, and that fourth buddy you sign up, they get 75, and we square you up to $1,000 in Go Hunt points, which is basically $1,000.
$1 point is $1.
$1.1.
I had a guy hit me up yesterday, and he's like, "Hey, I got 2 friends." He's like, "I'm halfway there." He's like, "I'm gonna get that $1,000." I was like,
Do it.
Good for you."
I love it.
And then another guy was asking some questions about it. He's like, "If you had $1,000 theoretically, would this be a good option?" He's talking spotting scopes. I was like, absolutely. We ran through some options, but man, $1,000 off a spotter.
If you think about it, like Sig Binos, you're into those.
You're there.
Full Go Hunt system, you're into that. It's like it's a really meaningful amount.
$1,000.
Never ran the math on it to see how expensive it is for us. So
I don't either, but it seems dope for the guys that are doing it. The other thing we needed to touch on is I saw a message yesterday pop up in Slack, which I was pretty excited about. We had down landed in the warehouse.
Yep.
I'm gonna walk out there later with you this afternoon and open a box or two and pull some out and do some playing around with some tinkering. But yeah, down jackets, down pants. Those are in the warehouse.
Atmosphere jackets, vest.
Atmosphere jackets and
Rain
vest.
gear.
I have all of them on right now. Yep.
Rain gear.
Rain gear.
The shitty thing is, pants have not landed.
But they're close.
They're close. They're stuck in San Francisco.
They're close. They're close. They should be here soon. But if you're looking for a down jacket, those will be available on Friday, I'm told.
Yeah, so this podcast is going out the 13th, so it'll be the 14th?
14th.
Next day.
Yeah, next
so
day.
it'll be available.
Yeah, they're going morning on Friday. It'll be live.
And we never listed prices on the last podcast, and I've been responding to all the millions of questions about the price.
Yes.
So we have prices now.
Do we?
Now.
Do you know the price?
I don't want to. I still need to talk to Lane. I feel like.
Something to talk?
I don't know.
Should we not talk about it then? Or are we out? I thought it was set.
Okay, talk about
I
it.
think it's set. I mean, I have a Slack, I have a text, it's all meshing up.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about it.
I guess.
I mean, if we modify it, we modify it. Don't hold us to it, guys.
And if we modify it, it's going to modify in the right direction. So.
Yeah, the right direction.
Well, we'll spit the number out. We'll see
Yeah.
what you think.
Okay. Down jacket, $320.
How do you feel about that?
Good.
Good.
Good. Yeah.
Down pant, $280.
Great.
So these price points are definitely lower than what you have seen for other jackets in ours. Arguably, I have bias towards this. Like, it's a phenomenal down jacket and down pant.
I mean, yeah.
And then for the price you're getting it at,
Yeah.
win-win for people.
Yeah, I mean, they hit me up about it, 4 days ago, I guess, and they were like, what do you think? And I was like, well, I'd feel cooler if it was at this, you know what I mean? But they
Yeah.
hit me with a different number, but, and they were like, well, look at the specs, you know, do some market comparisons. So I spent probably 2 or 3 hours just like looking around, and I was like, oh, actually,
Yeah.
comparatively,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a pretty smoking good deal.
Because it's unbiased. It's better on a tech spec.
For sure.
It is better.
Yeah, I mean, we were 2 years into kind of developing this thing and getting it out the door, and then if you actually look at the amount of down, the fill weight, the fill rate, you know,
Exterior material,
fit, function, everything, I was like, for sure, this is a jacket that is better than what I see. At least it's designed to the specs that I would like to see in a down jacket. So, yeah, I actually feel like it's a pretty smoking good deal.
Yeah. You got the high end down out there is 500 plus.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So yeah, I mean, I feel good about it. I feel great about the pant, 280.
Mm-hmm.
That feels good.
Yeah, but
Feels great.
I'm pretty excited to go out there to the warehouse and pull a few out of the box and
Yeah.
finally get to wear one around that's like production and not prototype.
Do I go through another prices?
Sure. Let's go for
Hit it. Yeah.
Okay, again, most likely these are set. Okay, but if we move them, most likely you'll benefit from us moving them. Rain jacket, $290. Rain pant, $250. Atmosphere vest, $140.
I feel good about all those.
Me too. I love that atmosphere vest too. I'm not a vest guy. That thing is so nice.
Bro, I got home and I got video of the podcast last week.
You were not
Dude,
so.
the first image you see, like when I spoke and the camera goes over to me, I was like, my God.
Everyone said, Tro, that you and I need to see the sun.
Oh, bro.
Dude, my little summer vacation was perfect timing for that. It was great.
Yeah.
Before that, I had a huge farmer stand.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care about how, you know, having
Whatever. Who
having
cares?
pale skin. Do you remember the Pell Ride? You guys remember that dude, Keith Van Horn, that played for the Utes?
Mm-hmm.
You remember Keith, right?
Yeah,
That
Keith
dude,
Van Horn.
Yeah,
for
Keith
sure.
Van Horn, man, just as pale as they could be. They called him the Pale Rider. But yeah, when I saw that, I was like, oh my hell, I'm pale. Like I don't think I've ever
look
seen.
great, dude.
I don't think I've ever seen the sun. But yeah, I had a good chuckle. I was actually, it was like
I got mad at Aiden because, I mean, granted, we're all in vests for sure. But then the thumbnail he posted, I'm the only one wearing stupid sunglasses inside.
Oh, yeah,
So I'm
okay,
like,
yeah,
so
You got the douche look.
I got the whole look, and I'm the only one you chose like that? Like,
Yeah,
this is
and I-
bullshit.
and I
You
switched
realize
over
we
to the
all
puffy
had
jacket.
it.
I don't have the glasses, but yeah, that was pretty funny. I liked it. You did it well, man.
Yeah, you rocked it.
You know,
I had a
so
good,
full vibe.
I had a good chuckle after the fact.
Full vibe.
Yeah. Cool. So that's business. We're on like knocking on the door of like hunting season. In fact, we're already killing deer. We talked about it a little bit last week, right? So there's some guys that have already knocked down some pretty nice bucks in Nevada. I've seen some really good antelope come out of Nevada, but my season kicks off this coming Saturday, and I've been out looking a lot the last month. Pretty much any spare weekend that I've had, I've been out doing a bunch of scouting, and I think internally I get home and inevitably I send you guys video and pictures, and I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
What is this buck? What is this bull, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it'd be kind of fun to do a podcast where we talk about score and field judging animals, and I guess at the top end of this, before we really dive into it, because I'm going to preface it and say I do think that there is value in like scoring an animal. I think,
Or at least like classing an animal.
Classing an
Putting it in
animal.
a general class.
you can call it whatever you want, call it classing or scoring or whatever,
Yeah.
but I think there's value in it. But I thought at the top end of it might be interesting to have like a little bit of a discussion on, like, you know, does trophy scoring, quote unquote trophy scoring, does it still have value?
Yes.
You would claim that it does.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think?
Generally, yes.
Should hunters in general be like concerned with what a buck or bull scores?
Concerned with? Not
That's an
necessarily.
interesting word. Yeah. I have it written in my notes. Concerned with.
Not necessarily. I think interested in it.
Interested.
Yeah, just knowing classic. We talked about this, I can't remember how long ago on a podcast, but people put way too much like clout in size and age together. Like he's big, he's old. That's not the case.
It's not always the case.
You know?
Sure.
Like that is, and I think people kind of get lost in that a little bit. Like is age class better than size class? Yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? Just on a general sense.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Older animals are.
I don't know. It's an interesting discussion because it's like, let's say you've got two bucks and you look at the two of them and you're like, that one's probably 4-year-old, but that one's probably 7 or 8. But the 4-year-old, you know, maybe he's a 190-inch class buck,
Yeah, I'm
and
shooting
the other
that
one's 170. You
Yeah, I'm
know,
shooting the
and he's
other one.
heavier.
That's true.
I'm shooting the better scoring buck.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Who in their right
true.
mind is not going to do that?
That's a
unless
good
you
point.
have some private land that you're managing and these bucks don't get hunted.
That's a good point. They just you understand what I'm saying though. They put
Yeah. Oh,
weight
yeah.
in like size and age together.
I do.
when
Yeah.
They are not together.
Not always. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get that. Why do you, Brady, you brought up, you said, yeah, there is like value in it, or people should be concerned or should be interested in what an animal scores. Like why? What's
Not
your take
everyone
on
should
it?
be. I just like it for myself in a way because I want to know the animal I'm going after, and I've been hunting for a long time now that I do enjoy. Again, I'm going to throw an older age class deer out there, but I'm trying to find an older age class deer that has a giant rack on top of it because that gets me excited. And now I have killed bucks before that are not giant scoring deer, but it's still a situational, or it was like I always say, like if I'm in the moment and that buck excites me and it's in an area where that's still a respectable deer, like sure, I'm gonna go after it. If it's- yeah. Yeah, like then it's exciting. If it's a giant snowstorm and I've been grinding it out for 6 days and this buck shows up and I have to, you know, scale this big snowstorm to get over there and shoot the deer, I'm gonna be stoked on it. But I do like to use score as a way to just judge what I'm looking at. Like I like a certain frame deer. I like big fronts, I like big backs, I like a boxy frame, I like a look of a deer. And I do try to get, I'm not the best at score. Like I can't tell you, I can't look at a deer and come within 3 inches. No way.
You can?
No.
Come on now.
No. Like I can maybe say like, oh, that's a 170, that's a 180, that's definitely a 190. After that, I'm like, that's just big.
Yeah.
Like it's just stupid big, go after it. Like I'm not to the point where I try to just pick apart every part of a deer and be like, oh, that's that. But like, I like to look at score because I do want to hunt bigger animals now in my life. I do. Like I enjoy that, and I know it's not for everyone.
So let me ask you, does it piss you off that other people don't care, or somebody might
No.
not care?
It does not piss me off at all.
That's a loaded question.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, it's like this. It's a simple human behavior though too. Like, who's gonna look at two houses next to each other and want to live in the smaller house? You know what I mean?
I might at this stage of my life.
At this
'cause I don't want
stage,
to
yeah.
clean the damn thing.
Correct. But you
Yeah, I
understand.
get
It's
you. I
like
get the
it's
analogy.
that human nature of, you know, which girl's gonna look at a smaller diamond or a bigger one and say she wants a smaller one. It's human nature. Like that's what people want to work towards is the biggest they possibly can.
and bigger a lot of times is more rare.
The reason I
It's a
say
lot more rare.
And-
That's the whole point of it.
the reason
And
I
it's
say
challenging.
Yes.
The reason I ask if it's a loaded, or I say it's a loaded question, because it does seem to me that there's like I don't know if it's a push, but there's definitely people out there that are like talking. It's like this peer pressure. Like don't shoot a buck, an immature buck. Like don't shoot a 3-point, don't shoot a small 4-point. Like turn your tag in, eat the tag, let them live, let them grow. Like do your part for the future hunting
bigger,
opportunity
go big or go
of
home.
somebody else. Yeah, go big or go home. Like there's this whole push. Like there generally does seem to be like more care or more interest in what other people shoot. And like I feel like people are less likely to, you know, like share a photo of a buck or a bull that they kill that doesn't like meet this social standard.
I don't like that.
How do you feel about that?
But again, though, I'll always say that there's more ridicule on this mule deer side than the elk side. You can shoot a raghorn bull.
I know.
And
I
you are celebrated to the end of time for shooting a raghorn bull.
I know
That
that.
may be 3 years old, and you shoot a 3-year-old mule deer that's 150, 160. You're ridiculed.
I know.
Why
I
is
mean,
that?
It's apples and
Social
oranges.
threads
It's,
that
yeah, it's just
happen.
it's just the thing. But like, if you go back to the idea of like, how do you think that should exist? Like people like if I go out here and I'm like one day, you know, maybe it's the second day and there's a 130-inch 4-point buck and he's in the perfect spot and I'm like, you know what, I gotta burn my saddle. I'm just gonna go shoot that buck and I want to be proud of it and post it up. And inevitably, like somebody's gonna jump on and be like, oh, what's that thing score? You know, it's like the first question, right? Like, should that exist?
No.
But I think people are just curious. So maybe they're asking it because they haven't hunted that species before and they want to know what that buck is, because harvest photos, as we all know, are very skewed in how they're portrayed a lot of times. So you just maybe want to know that score. So like, I love when there is forums out there and stuff where people just post deer, like what is a 160-inch deer, what's a 170, what's a 180. People are sharing photos to try to help and educate people to get better at it, because it is something that's like any sport out there. Golf. I can't be good at golf right now without practicing. I can't be good at field judging mule deer unless I practice all the time and look at it and then get somehow known scores. That's why it's helpful when people do kill things like, hey, that was a 172 buck. I might not care if it's 172, I just want to know it's 170 because I want to know, okay, that's that. Here's some of the features it has. Can you tell me what's the ear length? Was that ear length 9 inches or was it 8 inches? So I can then judge based off that to like help myself get better at the field judging side. And the thing I'll bring up too, which I don't know if we're going to get into, but it's like the score thing kind of gets skewed a lot when people are out there in places that don't have big animals. Like they see it all the time, like, oh, 180 is everyone's like a benchmark for one 180 mule deer. But if you're going to hunt somewhere that like does not have that, and your 160 is like a 6.5, 7-year-old deer, like that's the top end for your area, and so you should shoot that and be damn proud that you shot a 160 buck, because there is no 180 bucks.
Yeah.
Again, there might be a few out there, like everything, but like I don't know. You bring up, you know, all these other states that just like have open country and bucks get nuked all the time because they can hunt them in the rut. I can say a state, but you know what state I'm talking about.
Montana.
But like you go up there and you're hunting, you know, some of that open country and you see a 160 buck. That's a good buck for a lot of that country. Sure, there might be some bigger ones around, but majority of the deer are gonna be 160 and smaller, and they don't have the feed, they don't have the genetics in that area for whatever reason. Harder winners, and they're just not as big. So like you should be. That is just as cool as shooting a 180-inch deer on a premium unit somewhere else, because like that deer lasted through 7 hunting seasons of general over-the-counter stuff to get that big, and that's the top end of that unit. So
yeah,
I think it gets
that's
skewed.
all, that's all the backstory, right?
Yeah.
Like that's all the stuff that doesn't go, you know, maybe doesn't get talked about or doesn't get noted, and somebody that shoots that buck's probably just gonna post a picture and want to be stoked about it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, the point I'm driving at least my own personal perspective, is I think we care far too much. Like I think score's cool.
I think it's like a tool in the toolkit of just like rounding out the animal that you have found or that you're choosing to go after. It's just one of the aspects of that animal. It should not be the only aspect of that animal.
Yeah.
Well, and then yeah, I mean the thing I'm gonna say, like, the thing I'm driving at, it's just like it's personal, right?
That's what I was gonna say earlier, is it's your tag.
Yeah.
You should be super proud of whatever you do with it.
Yeah.
Whether you choose to turn it in and you feel like you made it felt good for you to make the right choice to eat the tag and not shoot an immature deer, like, be ultra proud of it. If you went out there and all your goal was to shoot a buck and you ended up shooting a buck, be super proud of it. It's your tag. Like, you drew the tag, it's yours.
Yep. You
As
can
long
do
as
whatever you want.
follow the laws, don't do anything wrong. Like, it's your tag and you should be super proud of whatever you did with it. Right?
Yeah.
Just because other people might not, like myself, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, like, that should not weigh on your decision at all. You should be freaking jacked that you shot a 4x4 buck on any place.
Or a
if that,
point.
if that's what you want.
2x3.
Or a yearling
Or,
buck.
yeah, like, or whatever.
I don't know.
You
Yeah, I
you
agree
on the same
completely.
page?
I can appreciate, like, I really appreciate a big buck. You know what I mean? Or a big
because of the
bull.
rarity of it.
To the rarity of it,
Yeah.
and then I've hunted long enough to know, in most cases, how hard that is to come by,
Yeah.
and like what it takes to kill an animal of that caliber. So I appreciate the hard work that went into it, and then just purely, I mean, we're gonna talk antlers here at the end of this, but like I can appreciate just the antlers for what they are. I just think it's cool, right? So it's genetics, feed, it's age, it's all that put together. I just think it's neat
the
to
perfect
see.
storm that creates.
But I could literally give two shits
Yeah.
what somebody else shoots. Like,
Yeah.
I just don't care.
And the older I get, like, the more I get like that too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the more dug in I get on this. Like, dude, it's yours. You
Yeah.
do whatever the hell you want with it.
Yeah, I don't care. And I don't know if that's right or wrong. It's just how I feel. I
Yeah.
thought it was an interesting discussion to have.
I do hate when I see people get ridiculed.
Yeah.
It's like they shot it, they're proud of it, they shared something, they showed a photo. Like, you don't have to ridicule the person. You don't have to. It's the internet. You don't have to say negative things.
No, you do. That's what the internet's for, right?
Yeah, that's what people use it for. That's the only thing they can say is negative. I mean, be proud. If you want to chase something big, go for it. But it's not. It's whatever you want.
Yeah, I think do what you want to do as long as you do it legally, right? Yeah.
And if I say I like shooting big stuff, like whatever. Like,
Yeah.
don't have to follow what other people do.
So let me ask you a question then. I don't post much on social media at all, and when I do post, it's usually like a 2-word caption, which is like I just say caught one, right? 'Cause
And a
I
blurry
like
photo.
that, and a blurry
And,
photo.
you know,
I just don't post. I don't post much, but it begs the question, Brady. Like, do you feel, guys that do post, do you feel like if you shoot an animal, you are required, or should you give the backstory to this animal? Do you feel like you need to?
I like doing it because I just like sharing more information.
Yeah.
Because it might help someone, maybe it inspires someone. But if you don't, it doesn't really matter. Again, it's your animal. You put your tag on it. You can say whatever you want. You don't have to say a backstory if you don't want to.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know.
I don't know. The reason that made me think of it is like maybe it gives it context. Maybe you give people the idea or the like the story of the why. So maybe it helps people as a whole, like not solely put all the value in the amount of inches that are in the antlers, and maybe more of the emphasis on like the story and what it means to you. Maybe there is value in that. I don't know. Social media is such a mind f. I just think it's really
is.
bizarre. But
I mean, yeah, and I still post when I don't kill things.
sure.
I still talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes there's a film about it still, sometimes there's not. Like,
Yeah.
I'm still happy, I'm out there, excited, and for whatever reason, I just like to eat a lot of tags, and I eat a lot more now than I have before because I want to chase something big. I enjoy the cat and mouse game of trying to dig up a giant buck. And then trying to kill
I just don't care who you are. Like, there's something really cool about a big ass animal. Like,
Yeah,
it taps into something in our human nature of whether it's the rarity, like Brady said, or it's just that you want the best possible thing.
I mean, Bambi's
what all of
dad
us
wasn't a slick 6-point.
No.
Like,
No.
he wasn't a 2.5-year-old buck. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Even Disney was like, man, if we're gonna put
Big.
Bambi's dad, he's gonna be a giant 10 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's something to it. The other thing I like about I like about the score system is it gives all of us kind of a commonality in like language, like
Yeah,
hunters.
that's what I like about it.
Right, you can be like, oh, I saw 180-inch class buck, or and then I even like, how do you feel about naming bucks? Because I'm all about naming them.
I think it's fun to name them, and it just gives you like a click.
What do you think, Brady?
I like it. It's the creativity side of me and whatever is like going on in your life at that time, and you start naming bucks. And
For
it's
sure.
also when you're hunting with your buddies, it's just a really easy way to be like, oh, do you remember, whatever, Trevor? Instead of saying like,
Craig.
remember the buck that was a
Yeah.
3 on one side, 4 on the other, but he had a double eye guard on the left. Like that's a lot of language when I can just say like, remember that buck, Trevor?
Brady, you hate naming bugs?
I think it's weird.
Really?
Yeah.
Shut your mouth.
Yeah.
You what?
I think it's weird. I don't do it personally. I will, if I'm with a buddy and I have a buck, let's say he's,
So last year you had a tag and you had bucks that you were after.
yeah, never,
And
never
then you
names.
had buddies that were coming out to like glass and kind of hunt with you.
Yeah.
How are you referring to said bucks to your buddies when they rolled into camp?
The buck we're gonna kill, my target buck. I just kept saying my target buck.
Yeah, but your buddy's like, how do I know what the target buck is?
I described it to him, and like he hangs out with the buck, and this is where I would describe it. Like his buddy he hung out with,
So he has a
really
name.
big eye guard buck.
His name is Target Buck.
Target buck. And the
It
other
was
buck
target.
buddy,
Target.
You see a very compact 4-point with big eye guards, you know the big buck is going to be near him somewhere. I have never named a deer. I might say like, oh, the kicker buck or inline buck, like that. Just like I'm describing the antlers.
You're essentially naming them though.
Kind of, but like some of these names are weird. Like I don't know.
I'll tell you, I
like-
got two bucks. One of them's name's Andre.
Yeah.
Andre the Giant. And then I got another buck named Bruno. Because I was like, I don't know if we talk about Bruno, because this musical from that Disney
Yeah, no one talks
Encanto,
about
where I
Bruno.
was like, I'm not going to talk about Bruno because I don't know if I want to kill Bruno, right?
But then you
It's
still,
actually
but
really
then
funny.
if you're
See, that's
saying,
what I like about the
Yeah, me
creative side of
too.
it,
That's
too.
what I
It's
like about
whatever's
it.
on your brain while you're glassing, and it just happens.
but if you're saying, hey, we're going after Andre,
Yeah.
you still have to describe Andre to your buddy to know what he is.
Yeah, but after that, it's like, yeah, that's Andre.
Why
Everybody
can't you
knows.
say,
it.
like, yeah, that's the
Everybody
target buck.
knows when you say that name, Andre. Like, oh yeah, I know that buck.
That's my
I know
number.
exactly
Why
what he
can't you
looks
say
like.
like that's my number 1 buck, my number 2 buck, and you can reference it that way? Why do
Sounds
you have to
fun.
give
That's
a crazy
that
name?
is
Like,
essentially a name though. You're naming it number 1 and number 2. So like your buddy calls you and be like, hey, I have number 2 right now, and you know immediately. It's the same thing as saying Bruno or
It's-
Andre. It's like if Trail gets a call, instead of the guy saying I have your number 1 buck, it just says I have Andre.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I,
I do get it. I do get it, but I'm just saying, me personally, I don't. If you do use it, like, sure, I'll say the name with you, like, oh, I'm trying to find Andre for
Do you
Trail.
think it's weird because it's like, do you think it creates too much of like an emotional connection?
Yeah, it's like a Disney thing. It's like just making like something out of nothing.
Bambi?
Yeah, like you're.
Do you think it gives
some
a bad look?
emotional human tie that doesn't need to be there because it's the coolest animal in the world?
Does it give a bad look to hunters, do you think, to name animals?
I maybe non-hunters looking into it, but every hunter is going to be like, hell yes. Like, that's literally what they're going to say. If
Every
you
hunter's
kill
definitely
Andre and you're like, caught Andre, dudes
No, I'm
would
not
be,
going to say that.
dudes would be like, hell yes.
Yeah, I
Every
think you
guy.
crossed the line. Well, I wouldn't do that.
You
You're
would
right.
do that?
I mean, I would tell you that.
I mean,
Yeah.
the whitetail guys are the ones who are ultra notorious for this because they're literally raising deer for
Yeah.
4 to 6 years.
That's-
and they know 'em.
That's also what's funny about today's discussion is I guarantee if you're like Midwest, East Coast, they're like, whatever the hell are these guys even talking about?
Yeah, like
we
you have to name them because they have to keep track of so many different deer.
they're
for
like,
so
we
long.
name them, we score them, we're
Yeah.
all about it. Yeah, like why is this even a thing?
Score to me can also be a name. Like buck I was going after last year. It's like, yeah, the 190 buck. The
What
big
was that?
non-typical cactus buck.
No,
Like,
Doesn't
it's
sound
too
right.
much. It's too. You got too many words there.
Yeah.
so might as well call the cactus buck Cactus Jack.
You could.
Dude,
That'd be sick.
Great name.
I'd
Great
love
name.
that. I'd
Tom.
love that. I'd love that.
Great name.
Cactus Jack, great name.
What if his
Why, you got a bug that's got some cheaters
Yeah.
that we could call Cactus Jack? That'd be dope.
yeah?
That'd be great.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I don't know.
I didn't know you felt weird about it.
You know, I'm very like, I don't know, rooted in some old school weird ways. Like some of my thoughts are very.
You grew up whitetail hunting.
I know,
And
I
just
never
like
came to
Trail,
that.
Trail said, and he's exactly right. Anyone east of Colorado right now is listening to this going, these idiots, like, yeah, we score them and name
My-
them. and
my brothers-
This is what we did.
My 2 brothers and my dad, they have never named a whitetail. on their place.
I'll help them.
Yeah.
Send me the
Maybe
picture.
they send me
I'll
trail.
photos.
I get trail cameras all the time from them, and they're like, "Oh, here's that. It's that big 10 point." I'm like, "Cool. I know which one you're talking about now. The big 10 point." They never said like, "Oh, that's Frank the Tank."
I'll name them like who was the Big Ten champions last year?
What sport?
They've all changed conferences so much recently. Football.
Indiana?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
I-
there's Indiana. There's Indiana.
All right,
Yeah.
here we go.
If
guys.
he's the Big Ten, he's Big Ten.
You know what else is? It's kind of fun too, because you look at the different characteristics of the buck or the way they behave and they act, and then like you creative juices get flowing. You got downtime. You're sitting there during the day. You're like, oh yeah, what could I name that buck? You know, that just jives with them, and then it does become a connection between
All
the
right.
two.
So I have a deer tag later this fall, a mule deer tag. I'm going to go out and name the bucks I'm going to go after.
Mm-hmm.
If this buck has that boxy frame, big 2s, big 3s, big 4s,
I'd name
and
him.
has mass, his name is Lorenzo.
Okay.
Hey,
I love it.
Lorenzo's got some guns. He's got
I
some
love
mass to him.
I
And if
love
he's
it.
just like
Am I
a,
looking big right now?
kind of a tall, spindly, but still pretty impressive and very regal and looks really smart and educated, because he's
Trip.
like kind of, I'm going to name him Trip.
You know that.
Perfect.
You know
That's
that
my backup buck, or my number 1 buck. It'll be either you guys. Depending if he has mass, it's
By the
definitely
way,
going to be
you
Lorenzo.
have to tell your dad and your brother that buck's name is Indiana.
Indiana?
Yeah, Big Ten.
I
That's
love
Indiana.
it. I love
Big
it.
Ten,
Big
okay.
Ten, Indiana.
Big Ten champion.
That year I killed that big buck that had the big cheers. I called him Tiger because that was the year the whole scandal with Tiger Woods broke
Yes,
out.
he
And we
loved
found
that.
out that he had like 30 different girlfriends. And I
Love
was like,
that. He's a cheater.
Who's the biggest cheater in the news right now? It's Tiger Woods. I'm gonna name that buck Tiger.
Love
He's got 7-inch cheaters on each side. It just works, man.
It gives you that. It gives you the life behind the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll have some listeners that are adamantly objective to this, but I
Which is it
I
is
like
that
it.
weird east and west breakdown. It's I like that you brought that up because it is so true. Like it is a thing out here where this becomes like should you not, should you, this whole thing, and then in the east they're like, yeah, what?
Yeah, we all do it.
Yeah.
Do you only name big animals?
Yeah. I do.
So back to the score thing.
Or,
I
yeah,
mean,
only
all
associate-
the other bucks that I've seen, like none of them have names.
So what if your target buck was hanging out with fork and horn? Are
This
you
is
going to
what
name
I
that
was-
fork and horn? Besides
This is
for
what I
fork?
was just talking about. So yes,
You can name
yeah, the big ones get the names.
Mhm.
The other ones are just like bystanders get a name because like how my buck was last year.
Yeah.
The 2 points that were out there, one of them had a funky left, and the other one was normal. So
You
you,
didn't
can't
name
just
them.
say like
You didn't
2
name
point.
them.
We didn't name them last
Didn't
year.
name them last year.
Actually, we did name my buck. No fly zone.
Oh, you're right. I forgot. Sorry. I
We did name
apologize.
him.
I apologize. Yeah, no fly
That was
zone.
Jordan's doing the first
Yeah.
time he saw him. Called him no fly zone.
What about the big
Got
4 point?
stuck. We didn't name him, but he was never. I
Never-
didn't
it wasn't
want
a
to go
target.
after any other buck.
Yeah, you're only naming your target bucks.
So
Brady.
little bucks are shamed and don't get named.
No.
Back to the score
They
thing.
just haven't earned
Not
it yet.
shame. They just don't have a name.
They haven't earned it.
That bugs you. The
Yeah, you're leaving out the little bucks.
The
then.
lesser
You're not going to name
bucks.
everything. What about does? You name does?
Nope. Not naming those either.
Oh, look, there's Mary.
Just target bucks.
Mary with her 2 fawns
Just
is walking
target
around.
bucks that I can distinguish and be like, we're looking for.
Target bucks only.
We're looking for Bruno. We're looking for Andre.
Do you ever name antelope?
Yes,
I have, yeah.
absolutely.
What's an antelope name?
We called. I mean, my big one in Colorado, we called him Dino because he looked like a dinosaur compared to everything else. So he was Dino. And then
You gotta-
which
you gotta-
quickly morphed into Dino.
So should I
Everyone just started saying Dino.
preemptively put a bunch of names in my phone and I just go through them, or is it like
That is
whatever I
what
feel in
comes
that
to
moment?
No, you have to get them in the moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to get them in the moment. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like you gotta text message your buddy and he'd be like, man, that's a giant. I'd say that's like Andre the Giant. And you're like, oh shit, I remember that wrestler, pro wrestler,
Yeah.
Andre the Giant. Hell yeah, that's his name, Andre. It just sticks. You gotta give it to him in the moment.
This is what I like about it is it's what's on your mind at the
Yeah, it
time.
kinda
Like
makes
Tiger. That's a great story.
It kind of
You
makes
named
it
him Tiger.
fun, and I'm okay with it, with naming the bucks.
Okay.
Okay,
Wow.
did we win that one?
Yeah, you
I
guys
think
won.
so.
I feel like we won that debate.
I think so.
Rest of the podcast. Now that we dove down that rabbit hole, I thought it would be kind of interesting just to talk about field judging bucks, because I think we all kind of do it. We're all interested in it, and we're taking video, we're taking stills and pictures, and we're trying to figure out, and not necessarily like the score. Like for me, I don't care if a buck is like 185 and another buck is like 187. It's not like I'm going to be like, oh, I'm going to shoot the 187 first, because
It's 2 inches bigger.
yeah, because he's 2 inches bigger, whatever. Like I'm not really trying to get down to the exact inch. Like it doesn't bother me at all. Like if it was 179 and I liked him, or if he was 185 and I liked him, it wouldn't really matter to me. But I think there's value in like field judging score.
Mm-hmm.
Tons of value.
Tons.
And I think it's actually even if your value is score, I think that's okay too, as long as
Yeah.
you're in it for,
Or just that.
if you're in it to be ethical and legal, and that's your value, then like who am I to say, that you're wrong? It might not be the same value I hold exactly.
I don't think there's anything wrong with
The score. Mm-hmm.
whether you use it or don't. There's but I do think everyone should use it. It's a very good like education piece of kind of rounding out the full picture of the animal you're after.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
At the end of the day, too, I think it is fun.
It is fun.
It's
Like
fun to
naming
sit
deer,
there,
it's
especially
fun.
when
It's
especially when you're scouting, and you got all the time in the world, and you're looking at a buck, and you got digiscope,
Gives you something
and
to
then
do.
later on, when you're at camp that night, you pull up your phone, start looking at it, like, oh, I'm gonna score this buck right now.
Yeah.
I want to see where he is.
And then if you do get to kill it, and then you see how close you were, it's fun.
Yeah, that's fun. And it just again helps you become better, helps you refine the tools
Correct.
in your toolkit. Like I said, I don't feel like I'm very good at score. A lot of times I overjudge, sometimes I underjudge. Like I'm not that great. I'm trying to get better by using different tools out there and apps and whatnot.
Yeah.
And just like getting on the field, or we get bucks in here and measure every single buck because I just want to know. That way I can help myself when I'm out in the field.
Yeah.
It's like the biggest thing I always say, like a lot of people, myself sometimes included, is I waste time looking at deer that I do not want to kill. Because I see it's cool, I do everything, I mark where it's at really quick and do all that, but then I start digiscoping, I'm like, why the F am I digiscoping a 160 buck right now?
I do that too.
When I'm,
If they're fun to watch.
but it's like,
I don't.
You don't do that?
Uh-uh.
I sometimes I get caught up into it and I'm like, I always try to tell people, don't waste time looking at deer you're not going to kill. So instantly judge this 160 buck as quick as you can, maybe get a little footage if I'm filming, move on.
Dude, I've probably looked at over 100 bucks in the last 4 weeks, and I have digiscope of 3. Like
That's how you're supposed to do it.
that's it.
I catch myself looking at.
I look at them and I'm like, nope, not interested in moving on.
I'm just curious.
For
I
exercise.
document them though, so I know what's up and coming.
Yeah.
Like, are they gonna get a little better next year if I can get the tag again?
I just put that in the memory bank.
But like, I don't need to waste time if I can start getting better at field judging. Like, oh, let's pull it up, look at it. Yeah, so
So
170.
let's talk about actually what scoring a buck or a bull is.
okay.
So run me through score.
You trying to go 101 on this whole thing?
Huh?
You trying to go like 101 education on scoring?
Yeah,
Like,
initially.
Very basic.
Yeah, maybe basic at first. And then we'll dive into some tips and tricks maybe on how to actually field judge.
Do you want me to use this buck as a reference?
Sure.
That's why I brought it in here.
Yeah.
Do you guys know what the score is this buck?
I do.
To the
From me telling you, or just you looking
Yeah.
at it?
You
So
and
you remember?
Porter told me.
I
Yeah.
don't,
So
but-
Trail doesn't. That's good. I wanted someone of you not to know.
Yeah.
but I'm quite interested.
Okay. Should we just go anatomy real quick of a deer?
Yeah.
Deer antler?
Yeah, hit it.
Not a horn, an antler.
Sure.
Just for you, Trail? 'Cause
Hit it.
you're from Utah, you say horns?
Yeah, I'm going hard hunting.
Alright,
Point out the main beam.
we got a main beam. Main beam. All the way outside, all the way to the tip.
From the burr to the tip.
Yep, so again, if you're watching, I should do better and explain it. So that's your main beam. You got your G2.
What do you call the burr? That little, that's a shed horn, obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Shed
like
horn,
the
shed horn.
just got that one.
Hey, the
That was a
roots,
little-
the roots run deep. I
that was
can't help
slow,
it.
that one. The little knobbies on the bottom.
Yep. The pedicle.
The pedicle.
You have the pedicle.
Okay.
I mean, you have his G1 right here, and it's his eye guard.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. You have
Is
his
it a brow tine or an eye guard?
It's an eye guard,
Okay.
but you could use an interchangeable. I'm
It's
a little
eye
slaggy
guard.
for that. It's an
No,
eye guard.
it's an eye guard.
Is it an eye guard on a mule deer and a brow tine on an elk?
No, it's an eye guard.
Is it an eye guard on both a deer and an elk?
Is it what?
What about a moose?
Oh, I got no.
That's brow tine.
I don't care about moose. I don't know. I was called an eye guard.
Do you call an eye guard an elk?
Sometimes I call it a brow tine. I think they're
On an
interchangeable.
elk, I just say fronts on an elk.
I think they're interchangeable.
That actually is, when you compare it to an elk, I always just say fronts. The ones and twos on an elk, the fronts.
I'd be like his ones and twos or his eye guards, or his brow tines. Either or.
Something like that.
Okay.
Do you count the eye guard when you're saying the class of animal? You say this is a 4 point.
Correct.
Yes,
I'm
That's
a
the correct way.
I'm a Western guy. That's a
Mhm.
4 point.
it's a 4 point. But you count it later for score, but not when
Yeah.
you're describing it.
I tell you what, I get so confused that when people actually tell me like, an 8 point on a
Yeah, I know. I got to do the math.
on a
in my head.
whitetail, I
I'm
can't
like,
even. I have a hard time picturing it. I'm
Yeah.
like, wait, is that like
Mhm.
eye guards and then 3 points? This is actually what 2 points in a main beam. I'm like trying to do the.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure it out in my
Do the
head.
math.
Yeah, it doesn't translate to me.
Me either.
It's so foreign.
Yeah, I'd much rather if whitetail guys called them, oh, it's a 4x5.
Yeah, me too.
But are they considering the eye guards
Get
as
with
well?
the program, you white till.
Yeah. dude. Yeah. dude.
Okay.
Okay. G2.
G2 starts from the main beam right here, right where if you basically took a line, if it didn't exist, that's where you would measure from. So that's all the way to the top right here. That's the closest tine, I guess you would say, to the eye guard is your
Yes.
G2. Your G3 then is going to be right where it breaks here.
The
Guess I should do this
fork
way.
that comes off.
The
of it.
fork right there,
Where
that's your
it
G3.
bifurcates.
Bifurcates, yep.
It's a technical term if you want to know.
It's a double branch. What
Double fork.
mule deer is a double branched,
Yeah,
Right.
a bifurcation. They call it
double
splits.
bifurcation, and whitetail single.
Yep, that's my understanding.
Yeah.
So again, G2, G3, and then the front fork right here, this is your G4. This is the backside of your, what would be considered the front fork.
Yes.
So you got main beam, G2, G3, G4.
So if somebody said, "Man, I saw a really big buck. He had great back forks."
He's talking about the G2 and he's talking about the G3.
G2, G3s.
And most likely he's saying that G3 then is probably forking really low on that 2 to make that a big G3.
Okay, fair enough.
And then you have 4 mass measurements. You have one, if you have an eye guard, it's going to be between the burr and the eye guard, the smallest point, not big if you're an outfitter and measuring it differently, but the smallest point between the two.
It's not the biggest mass measurement.
It's not the biggest
between
mass
the two?
measurement, it's the smallest mass
We're
measurement.
talking Boone and Crockett or SEI.
Ooh.
Oh, is STI measured the biggest part?
Yeah, biggest part.
I don't know if I knew that actually.
Yeah.
Oh, we
SEI is
did.
the biggest part.
So yeah, 4 mass measurements, one between basically the burr and the G1, and you have one between the G1 and G2, so that'll be measured right here if people watch on YouTube.
So wait, on that antler right there you got in your hand, he's got a couple little basal points that kind of come off below the eye guard.
Yep.
And you're saying you would measure the
Smallest.
So where would that measurement be on that antler? It'd
Most,
be like
likely,
right above the burr, right?
most likely it's probably right above the burr.
Gotcha.
I mean,
Got lucky.
got lucky, yeah. So it's going to get a good mass measurement down there. So that's your first mass measurement. Your second mass measurement, like I said, between G1 and G2. Next one is right here, the lower point of the fork between the 2 and the 3. So that's the smallest location. Usually it's down closer to the beam. Sometimes they get wider like this buck does up top. And then your fourth mass measurement is between, which would be the 2 and the 4.
Okay. And then what about spread?
Spread is going to be from its square looking at you, only inside spread matters. So that's right where your tape contacts the beam on the inside to the other beam and the widest location across the beam parallel.
When you say inside of the beam there, you were just kind of pointing at the bottom of the antler? Or are you
yeah,
talking
that's
on the
right where,
edge?
that's right where it basically your tape touches.
You're not talking like this inside leading edge, like here?
No, you're going on the
It's
bottom.
middle of the
Middle of the
main
antler on the bottom.
Well, shit,
where
I
the
got a
tape
couple
touches.
bucks that are bigger than I think then.
Yeah,
I
because
get
you're
an
where it
extra.
touches.
I just got an extra inch on most of them.
So inside spread.
Because
when
I've
it-
always just taken it loosely from the inside of the main beam, like the literal inside of the main
The
beam.
technical Boone and Crockett is middle of the beam.
Middle of the beam.
Yeah.
where it
Bro,
touches because you're
Yeah.
every one of my bucks just got a full inch bigger.
because you're not because then you're
That's good
measuring
news.
air.
Got it.
You
Huh?
gotta measure antler to antler.
Yep.
And
I should know that. That's crazy that I don't know that.
and inside spread is what matters. Everyone always talks about width in terms of, oh, I shot a 28 inch wide buck, but they're usually talking about outside spread.
Mhm.
Inside spread's the only one that matters for score. Outside spread does not. So if you have a buck that has 4-inch cheaters off each side, 32 inches wide, but it only has 22-inch inside spread, well, 22-inch inside spread is what actually matters.
Gotcha.
If you wanna get ultra technical, you're only allowed to take as much width as the shortest main beam. So if he's 24 inches inside, but his shortest main beam is only 22, you only get to use 22 inches of the inside spread.
I didn't know
Makes
that either.
Yeah, which is such bullshit.
That's the spread credit, it's called.
So you
That's
only
like gets super
you
technical.
only
but
get a width as wide as
the shortest beam.
the shortest beam.
Yeah.
So if your inside spread is like, okay, yeah, I'm tracking. I didn't know this either.
Yeah.
I'll be dipped.
Yep.
Dude, I've scored a lot of just like loose tape, you know what I mean? Green
Yeah.
scored a bunch, and they've all been incorrect.
Yeah, so trail for
As
you.
it turns out.
Here's it straight from Boone and Crockett on Boone and Crockett Mule Deer typical score sheet. Spread credit may equal but not exceed longer main beam.
Or longer, sorry.
Okay,
Not shorter,
Gotcha.
longer.
gotcha. Okay, cool. I thought it was kind of fun. So
Bunch of weird little.
Yeah, a bunch of little nuances,
rules.
right?
Well, this is the thing, like when people throw out score too, it's like, what are we doing? You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
What score are we talking about here?
right.
Should we, so you've seen the shed,
Yep.
but we're going to talk about field judging. Do you want to give me a field judge of just the shed, double it, give him we'll give him the same beam length as his inside spread? What do you go?
My guess.
Yeah, your guess, since you're the only one who does not know the exact score of this buck.
So here's the thing. Most of my field judging, my ability to score a buck or a bull has been from picking up shed antlers, right?
Okay.
So I would pick up shed antlers and I would tape them out. And inevitably, if you hold enough of them and you look enough of them and you score enough, you have like a pretty good just visual reference.
Yep.
Of like, that is what this class of buck should be.
Mm-hmm.
So my gut says that antler doubled with an inside spread is going to be about 182, 183 would be my guess.
Okay.
He's going to be between 182 and 184.
Okay.
That's where I'm at.
And where do you base most of that around? Like, what's the characteristic that stands out? You're like, okay, that's going to be a mid-80s type buck.
It really isn't any one single thing.
It's
It's,
just
it's
experience?
legit just looking at it as a whole. Like if I'm just looking at that, having held a bunch of antlers in my hands and scored them, it's just visually I'm looking at it, I'm going, that feels like a 182-inch antler.
Do you feel like it's easier since it is a shed right now in my hand?
For
If you
sure.
If you saw that on the buck, that's what I want to get at. If you saw it on
If I
a
saw it on the
deer,
hoof, it would get infinitely harder.
it gets in from the heart. It does.
It does get a lot harder.
It's way easier once you hold them in your hand to be able to judge how big they are. 'Cause
I think
you
it's harder on the hoof
have way harder on
to
the
judge because then you have body size and everything else that comes into
You
relation.
have distance and angle, you're looking at it.
Yeah.
Like we've all been there where you're looking down on an animal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, that's a good buck. And then like a couple days later, he's higher than you and you're like, whoa, don't remember him looking like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it shrinks it as you're looking down and makes it bigger as you're looking up.
Yeah, and this might be a good time to just throw in like a couple of tips. I would never judge an animal solely on like a view from the back. I think, in fact, I was telling you guys the other day,
Death kiss.
it should be illegal to
judge from the back. Yeah.
to just judge a mule deer from the back because they all look big, man. They
They
tuck
look
their
so
ears
big.
straight back and they look wide and they just
Yeah.
look so much bigger from the back. The other thing that I've been thinking about lately is the power in your optics when you're digiscoping. So if you've got an animal and he's 500 yards and you've got your spotting scope at 60 power and then you put your phone on there and you digitally zoom in another, do you think that messes with
Perceptive of
perception of the animal?
probably does.
Because I think it does.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's much better to judge the animal, like zoomed out, like 20 power, and you're just like looking at him. And if he's closer, zoom out as far as you can, not in.
Mm-hmm.
I think it definitely makes a difference. Because I've looked at bucks before where I'm like zoomed all the way in, I've got my digiscoper zoomed all the way in, I'm like looking at him, and then I'll get home and look at some video I took it, like when I first popped it on, it was at 20 power, and I'm like, wait, that's not the same as that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that optical illusion of like zooming in at an animal at close range,
Yeah.
like messes up the perception of how long
And I
it
think
might be.
distance is a big thing too. Like if you're looking at a buck at a mile,
Mm-hmm.
mile and a half or whatever, and then you look at that buck at 600 to 800 yards, two totally different things.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to field judge a buck like a lot more accurately when they're really far away.
Right.
You're always gonna probably overjudge it.
I've never field judged a buck from a really long ways. It's always just been in the category of, yeah, we should
Yeah.
get closer.
Yeah.
Like we need to see that animal closer. Or,
Mm-hmm. Right.
no, we don't need to see him closer, we don't need to go that way. You
Which
know what I mean? Like
yeah.
I've never field judged one from really far away.
What's your take on field judging? Like you're hunting a new unit, and the first buck you see pops up, and you're like, oh, that's a pretty nice buck. I always feel like the first animals you see, I always judge them way bigger than what they actually are.
Yeah.
Like when we went caribou hunting, I looked at a bunch of video and films and pictures of caribou, right? So we get dropped off, we're in camp, and you have to wait the full 24 hours
Yeah.
before you can start hunting. So we're sitting there at camp, kind of getting things put together, and I look across the drainage and I see this caribou bull. Throw the spotting scope on it, and I'm like, shit, that's a big caribou, Fast forward 6 or 7 days,
Wasn't that big?
that was a tiny, like a very small bull caribou. But I'd never seen one, you know what I mean? So it was like the first one I saw, and I remember thinking, shit, that's a big one, but no,
Yeah.
there was way bigger. So I would just throw that in as a little tip, like maybe look at a few if you have.
Have you ever
something-
been on
something
a
in
hunt
mind.
where the first one you did see ended up being the biggest one overall? I have to.
Our hunt,
Yeah,
archery hunt back in the day.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I've been on a couple where it's like the very first buck we picked up, or bull for that matter. I've been on multiple hunts like this. It's like, oh, that is the biggest one we saw the entire trip.
Did it? Okay, so in the moment.
And it kind of like,
In the moment, what was the decision-making process? Was it like, yeah, we should kill that bull, or was it like, yeah, I don't know?
yeah, I mean, luckily, the times that it has happened, it's a class of animal where it's like, yeah, I mean, if we get a chance at him. But it also puts you in the mindset too of like, oh, there's gotta be,
Bigger.
not even necessarily bigger, it's just like, oh, that's gotta be like a normal sized animal in this unit, this new unit we are. Like Brady and I was a great example. We're, high country Colorado. And it's like the very first deer you see, you're like, oh shit, there's gotta be some really good bucks in here. He was the only one. That was the only really good buck.
Right.
Yeah. But it immediately puts you in the mindset of, oh, there has to be other good bucks if there's
Yeah.
one that big.
I'm kind of in that right now because I have some bucks, and I'm like, I feel like I would be really happy if I was to shoot any of these bucks.
Yeah.
It also has me thinking like,
Oh, it's a good year. Maybe there's more.
what else is out
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
I was telling Scott the other day, I really wish I just had like 30 days where it was like day in, day out, you're just covering the entire unit just to see what it can produce. Because it
Yeah.
feels like the potential's there,
Yeah, when you see the first couple that are like that,
Yeah.
well, couple especially.
Sure.
The ones on, like my hunts that I'm thinking about it literally was the first one.
Yeah, that would mess
It's
with
like,
my
oh
head.
shit.
That would mess with my head a little bit, I
Yeah.
think. And again, we should say, I'm going to preface this right now before we move on. I'm going to say, like, everybody's at a different stage
Yeah.
Yeah,
of
for
hunting,
sure.
right? Like, I think it should go without saying, but, like, that's just kind of where we're at, having hunted for a really long time.
Mhm.
Like, we're old.
Like
So-
all these discussions and tips we're giving will help you no matter what stage you're at.
Yeah.
Like if you're just starting out, you want to be able to judge a 150 buck. Well, all these tips will help.
Sure, but I wanted to just say, don't come at me with some bullshit about, like, oh, oh, it's not big enough or not good
Yeah,
enough.
yeah.
I'm like, it's just, it's personally just kind of what I'm looking for right now.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
To a good example with that, by the way, like bringing that up, my wife has never killed a mule deer with her bow.
Mm-hmm.
So like, when we go this weekend, the goal is to kill a mule deer with her bow.
Right.
Not, let's
Yeah.
go try to find a 180 plus buck.
You're not gonna hold her off on a
No,
buck?
hell no.
No,
You
which
kidding me?
is totally awesome and totally
Bro,
fine.
we're slinging arrows.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I had a guy the other day say to me, he's like, yeah, the worst thing that can happen is if you take a new hunter, which I took my kid last year, and he killed a really nice 4-point buck. He was 12, right? First animal ever. This guy was like, man, that just absolutely ruins them, just ruins them. And I was like, I don't know if that's true or not, but I guess I'll find out this year.
It's not true. I can unequivocally tell you, at least
Good.
for me personally, not true.
I don't think
The
it,
very first deer I ever killed is one of my top 10 biggest deer in my entire life.
right. It didn't
was
ruin the
a
excitement for
giant-
you?
No, it made me more into it.
There. I love that.
It made me way more into it.
Good.
Like it was that immediate hook where it's like, oh,
Yeah.
this is awesome.
Let's go back to this shed.
Yes.
Someone used this as reference. So you judged this buck just looking at it. Obviously, we said judging a shed in hand's way easier than on the field. But we'll get into the field tips a little bit. So you said 182, 184. Okay. What's your estimate right now on the G2? Don't take forever. The buck's gonna get
Let's
away.
walk it in the trees.
We have a lot to cover.
16.
Okay, it's G2 is 18 and 1/8.
Okay, I was gonna say 18, but
Let's go through score really quick. Beams are 22 and 4/8, so he kind of has
okay.
shorter
beams.
beams for sure.
I noticed that when Porter brought it in, it was the first thing I noticed.
Yeah. So G2, it gets me excited.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
that's a stud.
That's a stud of a G2.
And
it's you see it immediately. Right when you see it, you're like, oh yeah, 16 plus.
quick guess on the G3 trail.
10.
Yep, 10 and 5/8.
Nailed it.
G4,
9 3/4.
10 and 7.
Damn. Really? It's as long?
It's curls.
Okay,
I didn't show
yeah.
you the curl.
And it runs with the beam too.
So that's a good tip. Give us some tips as you're talking about these real quick.
Yeah, so like I didn't give you the angle right there specifically because I knew you'd probably go short. So like this one, you can actually see it better when he looks forward to you because it does have a lot of curl, and like Lorenzo said, it does kind of follow the beam a little bit, so it's kind of hidden.
It's like kinked with the beam. So you're actually, if you were to flip that point, that tine just straight up, it would be a lot longer than, because it has that like,
So curl hides length.
yeah, it's like traveling, even though it's going to you or away from you, depending on how you're looking at it. But that is length. You know,
And then
I get tricked by those a lot, and your buck has that. Your
Yeah, we'll find out.
your Bruno buck
Yeah.
has that.
and mass is something I think really hard, so I want to get discussion later about how to judge mass. But I'll just say it unless you want to guess.
Mass?
Yeah, guess is mass.
Man, I'm not really good at mass, like guessing mass.
Mass is hard.
I'm not good at field judging, so I kind of just put it into like.
You bracket it?
Yeah, I'm kind of bracketing it. Like, does he have?
Is he above 20 or below 20?
Yeah,
That's kind of how I look at it.
exactly. Yeah,
He's
per
below.
side.
So
Below
Okay.
20.
below 20, that's your guess?
Yeah, I would
Your
say
guess is
below 20.
Yep.
Per
20
side.
is big.
Big.
Yeah.
And
And
usually it takes, for a majority of mule deer, not always, obviously, but for a majority, it takes velvet to even get them towards that 20 plus.
so his only kind of big mass measurement is H1, which is 5 and 5/8. Everything else is 4, 3, and then it goes back up to 4. So he has 17 and 5/8 total mass.
Per side. So
On
he's
one
what,
side.
30,
He's on the
38?
thinner side
Yeah. So
of a big buck.
yeah, it'd be like roughly 38.
Okay.
Total for this one antler right here, 82 and 4/8.
Mm-hmm.
So you double that, and we'll just give him 22 for spread credit. So he's a double it's 165. Give him spread credit of 22 inches, 187.
Shit, that buck's bigger
And I
than
bet
I
he's probably a little bit more narrow. So I bet he probably is a 185 buck than
Mhm.
his beam, just the way it kind of looks and kind of figuring it's sitting on his head.
thought. Okay.
So you're really close. He said 182, 184, and I feel like he's probably 185 with his spread credit.
Yeah, I would doubt that buck does not look like it would be a 22-inch buck.
No, he looks kind of narrow.
Looks tight.
He's
yeah,
probably
if you
20
look
and 1/8, something around there.
Yeah, and this is where sheds and field judging are two completely different things, but you can tell the way his pedicle sits,
Mm-hmm.
he's actually going up more than
Yep.
he goes out.
He
You
did
know what I
not
mean? He's
sit
up.
out.
Where we talk about the boxy look or
Mhm.
the hourglass look, like he's definitely more of the hourglass, where his beam
Yeah.
is coming up off his head instead of just straight up to the side.
This is the biggest shed I've ever found.
It's a stud of a
It's a
shed.
stud
by the
buck.
way. We
And-
should also say that is a stud deer right there.
Yeah. And the reason why I brought this shed and why I have it sitting in my office and not the house is I do use this a lot for just visual reference.
Yeah.
And I literally have all these measurements in the notes on my phone and obviously it's on my computer. Just again for personal reference. I like to try to figure out, okay, is the buck I'm looking at in the field this big or smaller? Because I've held this buck so many different times, measured him a bunch. And
Now
it's
here's
as a
the
reference.
hard part though. Here's the hard part. That buck has an 18 plus inch G2.
Yeah.
What'd you say? 18 and 2/8?
18 and 8.
18 and 1/8?
Yep.
That is a very hard number to throw out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you see a buck on the hoof, you can't just. This is where it comes into. Like we've all been around enough. How many bucks have 18-inch G2s? like less than 1% of 1%.
Yeah, hold that
probably.
up again real quick. I want to see it.
So it's like you immediately in your head, and
Yeah,
you're
that was
thinking,
And it has a little curl to it.
you're thinking, you know it's big, but you're not gonna, you can't say 18. That's just,
So how do you
It's a number that's right.
estimate that other than just like having that shed in your office and you get to hold it and look at it? Like let's say you get out into the field, are there like anatomical references that you use in the field to help you estimate?
Yeah, the main thing I always use is just ear length and then ear width.
Okay.
So I do like when I shot my mountain goat, I measured my mountain goat's eye width,
Mm-hmm.
I measured my mountain goat's ear length,
Mm-hmm.
and I went from eye to nose and then nose to horn and just wrote that down. I'm probably never gonna hunt mountain goats again. But even, I just say that though, as when you do kill a deer in certain areas, it is nice, everyone wants to measure the antlers, but it is nice to measure anatomical references on deer to help you out, or go into a taxidermy studio, or if you have bucks mounted on the wall. I think it's easier though when they're dead, because you can move things around and they're not like stretched out or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So typical ear length obviously can vary, like 8 to 9.
8 to 10 inches is what
Can
they
be
say?
10 inches in some areas, yeah. Average, you can say, is about 9. That big 200-inch deer I have, it was 8 3/4 his ear length. So it's just, I like to use the ear length and then just reference that on the horn. So for like the beam, if I can see the ear length comes up to here, you double it, and then, so that's, let's say 9, 18,
plus
and then
whatever
plus a little
extra.
bit, so I can kind of judge that beam a little bit, and I'll do the same thing on the 2s, basically visualize that ear, where it's gonna sit, and you can double it again, and then like, oh wow, that's actually,
Mm-hmm.
really big 2s. So I like to use the ear length, and then typical ear width, when always the deer is kind of looking at you, could be even from like 18 to 22 inches,
Mm-hmm.
depending on the area. It can be a little bit bigger too, can have some 24s.
you get out to the Arizona Strip and they're 25 plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Just
That's like
telescoping ears.
Yeah, it's
Satellite
like a
dishes.
completely different animal out there.
So it's nice to know roughly anatomical reference of the place you're hunting.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you look at a buck, and especially trail cam pictures, like a couple of bucks I had last year looked
Yeah.
giant, but we realized, hey, those are tiny bodies,
Yeah.
and so it really skewed.
You are.
The judgment.
I am the furthest thing from analytical like that.
What is your one?
It's funny to listen how different. Because you didn't give yourself enough credit. I think you are good at field judging.
For sure.
I think
Well-
I think you're good at it. Like whenever you throw out a score, I take it
Yeah.
with a lot of respect.
I agree.
I think it just helps though to look at deer and, like I said, just write things down and measure bucks.
Yeah.
Like that's the best way to do it.
I'm not analytical at all. Like listening to you talk, I don't do any of that.
Yeah, I mean the best way. You and I have the ability. We've got the experience. Like we've grown up in it. We've looked at a lot of
And
deer.
I'm just
We've held a lot of antlers. I think we can look at an animal and be like, "That's this class."
And
right?
I am
Like
a
if
more creative style mind. You're very analytical.
Mhm.
Like when you go to bows and rifles, and you're so analytical about it, and I'm more like, I don't know, free flowing, creative about it.
Mhm.
Like you and I are very different like that. And yeah, I was trying to compare it with something in my mind of how I am listening to you talk. You know when you go to the carnivals and the guy guesses your weight? You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
like he just looks at you and he's within 3 pounds every time. And you can guess everyone's weight.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel like I am with
Yeah,
animals.
but you have to start somewhere.
But you do have to
Yeah.
start somewhere. I like, for me visually, I just visually wrap a tape around the antler in my mind. Like I can visually
Yeah,
see
you're
it. Like I'm
visualizing.
looking at the video and I'm like visually placing a tape over his
Right.
So you use a
or his
measurement.
antler.
Use a
sorry.
measurement you know a lot. So Trey would probably use 3 inches as his reference. Compared to what he used to.
I mean, that's
yeah.
you're probably giving it too much credit. I was giggling when you said curve height. I have a buck in my basement. This is just like a fun little experiment that I did. So I have a buck that's like 185, and I scored him out.
Okay.
And so this is 21-inch inside spread, main beams, 25 inches.
Good beams.
Long beams.
Shit.
Yeah, long
Yeah, that's
beams.
None of my bucks have that.
G2's 15. Well, I didn't. Who's to say if I did it right? But loosely. G2's 15. G3's 8. G4's 10. Mass measurements 6, 6, 5, 5.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Is that velvet? No velvet.
Velvet.
Okay.
So mass, so and then this is the interesting part, right? So he's about 185 inches. So then I broke those out into different percentages, like how much is mass, how much is inside spread, how much is main beam length account for on that buck, right? So this one, mass 24, because he's fairly heavy, right? Inside spread 11, which isn't much.
Yep.
Main beam, which on that buck, long beams 25 or 27.
He has that long of beams.
They wrap all the way in.
And how wide?
Well, he flares out.
I know. How wide did you say he was?
21, 22.
That's a dream buck for me.
But he's
love that.
Inside of the beam, so inside,
I
not
love
like
that.
middle.
That's the look I like, though. I love that look.
That
Long
sweeps
beam,
in.
sweepy, and not real wide.
He kind of
tall.
comes. His front forks come in like this and wrap
Oh, I
up.
love that look.
Kind of almost crabby looking.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then okay, so point length 38%, main beam 27%. So I thought those were interesting. So 24% mass, 11% inside spread, 27% main beam, point length 38%. So the thing I was driving at that I think is interesting is like what are the percentages of where you get your score from, right?
Yep. That's the shit I love.
You do?
It's so cool. Like
So
I have mine broke down too.
What's your take on it then? Like what matters? I mean, it all matters.
Yeah.
And every buck is different, right? Like they can be different.
Width does not matter
No.
near as much as what everyone thinks, though.
And
Not near as much.
I have seen some averages posted from like Boone and Crockett before, and then other apps out there. And what Trail is saying does kind of add up to when you take like a big sample size. Like it's time length and main beams, the two most important things.
Yes.
The width that everyone always gets crazy about, it's air. It does not matter. And Trail has proved his is 11% of your total score was in inside spread.
Yeah.
And your mass was actually pretty high, 20 something.
20.
Yeah. But it's literally time length. That's everything. And then the length of the main beams. So you get a buck that has, 18, 10, and 10, and then he has a 25-inch main beam, that's a shooter all day.
Right.
Because you got the time length, and you got the main beams are obviously going to be long because you have big fronts. So like all those things do matter on a buck, and like it's cool when you break it down. Like one of my mid-90s bucks, I broke him down. Points is 47% in time length, mass is 18, beams are 25, then inside spread is not showing here when we go up, 10%.
Spread.
So it goes very similar to what you said.
It's
It's all point length and main beam length.
Yeah.
It broke down mine to be a mid 190s buck.
It's like talking to my dad and my uncle Heath back when, because they were, I mean, they're not old, but they're obviously older than us. And they used to hunt some really good areas back in the day when it was really easy to hunt really good areas back in the day, and all they cared about was 30-inch wide bucks. That's all they cared about. And you listen to them talk now, and they're like, man, some of the animals that we passed were way bigger than the ones we shot.
Right. Just because they were looking at width.
Yeah, that's all they cared about, which is the least important thing of the overall score.
Right. You got more on deer you want to talk about? I got one more thing I'd say. But
I have so much more on deer.
okay, let's hit it.
Why are we even going to cover elk?
Okay. We don't have to go deer.
I thought we were going antelope.
I actually think elk are easier, but go ahead.
I would actually like to go antelope too. So maybe we can make this a little longer. We'll shorten it up on deer.
Okay.
I want to hear from you, Lorenzo, because you do it differently than I do. I do the analytical method. How do you try to judge a buck when he's on the hoof? What are the things you're instantly looking for to be like, that's an 80 buck, that's an 85, that's an 90?
I'll tell you, I've gotten to know myself well, and I've been very fortunate to be on hunts and look at a lot of like ungodly big animals. It's like Trail said, you kind of have this like this bank memory of all these animals you've seen. Like I've seen a 20-inch G2, I've seen 18s. There's so few and far between those, so it still is a hard thing to throw out there. But anyways, I've gotten to know myself extremely well. When I very first look at an animal, when I like very first see a big animal, I'm going to overscore it just immediately.
Yeah.
Like my first intuition is, we'll say 10 inches bigger than what it actually is. The next thing I move in, and I already know that, so I in my mind mentally, like something steps out of the trees and it's big, I'm immediately gonna like throw out the biggest number in my mind possible, because I like to give the animal all it's worth. Like I like to give everything that he's got going on, give it some credit. I immediately move on to seeing his body compared to something else.
Yep.
So I'm like, I move it immediately from that, okay, I have that score in my head, I know it's gonna be bigger than probably what he is. Now I wanna watch him next to another mature buck and see if he's got a mini body or a horse body. And then if he's got a horse body, I'm like, might not be so far off. And then I start like, in my mind, visually wrapping him up with a tape. And I'm not gonna say I'm great at it by any means either. I would say I'm definitely more in the good category than in the bad category, of like field judging an animal. But that I immediately get like the full breadth, like you were talking about, Trail.
Yeah.
And I know it's probably gonna be big, and then I move on to body size, and then I get detailed visually of like wrapping a tape on those antlers and what they actually are. And giving them a length number and putting it in my phone and adding it up.
Another thing I like to, again, I just have notes in my phone of what makes up a 190, what makes up a 180, 170, 160. And the easy thing for me when I'm looking at that, obviously mass and beam length can all change, but if I see 17-inch 2s, if I see 10-inch 3s,
Oh yeah,
and 10-inch 4s,
that's a big buck.
and then beams around 22, 23,
Even with that size, even an average beam.
yeah, then I know it's going to be somewhere in the 80s, or it's going to kind of touch 90. So
90.
I use a higher judge of like a 190 to then figure out, okay, if that's a 180, because does it meet that?
Yeah,
Does
you
it
have to back off or go forward.
Yeah, because it's easier for me to back off a little bit from, okay, it's not 17-inch 2s, he's 15, and he's 9, and he's 9. Okay, he's not going to be the 190, but he's probably going to get close to 180 if he has some mass and has some beam length.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I'll just look at the air between the forks and just do that a quick judge. If it's like roughly 10 inches, then those are probably going to be, 10, 11 for the 3 and, maybe 10, 11 for the 4.
Yeah.
So you can kind of just judge air in between. I'm talking about an angle, if people watching the video, between his main beam and his 4, and then his 2 and his 3, just going up in the middle.
And then paying attention to the little nuances of, does it run with the beam? Does it go straight up? Am I getting tricked thinking it's longer than it is because it's just dead straight?
Yeah. The hardest one for me is always main beam length.
That's the one I nail down first. So I look at the animal, get the breadth, get the body size. I'm like, okay, that is it. X class of animal. I think that buck breaks 190.
Are there visual indicators of how long a beam might be based on the anatomy of the deer? Like if
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, like if he's standing and you're looking at profile and you look at his main beams and they're out to the length of his nose.
Yeah.
I mean, you could assume that he's got.
I look at angle is coming off the head first.
And, okay.
Yeah, angle out the head. That's a good.
Like tip. I look at the very first, because the very first thing I try to like absolutely nail down visually is how long that main beam is. That's like the one thing I probably do get more analytical on, than that. It is the only thing I get analytical on, because once I get that and I feel good with it, then I can kind of like visually guess everything else. I look at the angle he's coming off his head at. Is he that boxy shape or is he the hourglass shape? And then I immediately look at the shank, his like actual curve. Like that buck right there has a very prolonged curve.
Yeah, they come all
that
the way.
shank just keeps going
All
and
the
keeps
way
going.
out, yeah.
It's gonna lead to a much longer beam than that real tight, even though his
That comes straight
even
in.
though his beams come past his eyes and tip up,
Yep.
if he has a short shank, like if his shank right there is only an inch or two before he curves all the way in, it's not a long beam even though it looks like it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I like that big prolonged wrap out and then he comes back in, that's,
Long beam.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that buck's beams are like, especially the left one was like 28. That's an Arizona strip buck though.
Yeah. Long.
That's crazy long. So I go to shank and then I go to, does it get out past the nose? Does it tip up? Is there extra?
Yep.
If they tip up, that's an extra ½ inch to an inch. Is it this? I get that dialed in analytically and then everything else I just kind of visualize.
Man, it sounds like if you started with your 2s, G2s, so you look at G2s, you look at main beam length, G3,
I
kind
look
of
at
check.
G2s like last.
Really? Okay.
I don't know if that right or wrong, but
The longest time?
yeah, I
You
go
look
like
at that last?
I go like frame,
Yeah,
right?
frame.
I've taken the breadth of the
Oh, yeah,
frame, like
you
that's
take-
a
yeah,
190
okay,
buck.
okay,
Like
yeah,
that
yeah.
buck's in the 190.
your
So
gut
I look at the
feeling.
frame of it.
Yeah.
Then I immediately move on to body,
Okay.
and then I'm like, looks
Big
like
body.
a horse.
Okay.
Like we'll talk about my deer last year. Then I saw him next to a lot of other bucks, and I'm like, holy shit, like he looks like a Clydesdale. So maybe he's better than 190. And then I moved on to the beams, got that, and then I'm like, okay, then I moved on to G2s and everything else.
Gotcha. Yeah.
When he first stepped out, I'm like, holy shit, that's a 190 plus frame, all day long, not even a question.
Yeah.
Moved on to body size. Body was a Clydesdale. It's like, holy shit, maybe he's even bigger than
When you say body, big body, it helps definitely if they're standing next to some other deer.
Luckily, he was with 5, 6 other bucks.
Yeah, you can definitely gauge like, okay, that one definitely has a body. But if they're standing there on their own, I would say generally just like a blocky head, kind of that Roman nose they say, which is the little bump in the nose.
Hanging belly.
Swayed
back.
Yeah, kind of even a flat back or a swayed back.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I've noticed in a bunch of just trail camera photos I've looked at, a lot of those older bucks, they have almost looks like a waddle on a moose.
Yeah.
It doesn't like hang down, actually. It's not like hide. It's like their actual neck.
And he's got some meat.
He's got meat, yeah. Like their neck hangs low, especially right here between their shoulders and their front. Those are all, at least me, thick brisket, I guess is what you call it. They're all kind of signs of like a bigger bodied buck.
For sure.
The worst is a small bodied buck that looks big.
Yeah, those sometimes get me, especially when it's the only deer.
Oh, I got bad in Colorado.
Yeah.
Going away from me, had a split G3 and big G2s. So yeah, big G2s, split G3, going away from me, all by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know what I just saw, but that buck is big.
Mm-hmm.
And I fell for it, went into the trees, got in tight, didn't really get a good look at him, shot him, and he was not even close to as big as I thought. Small beams, small fours, small inside spread, which doesn't necessarily matter, and a very small body.
Yeah, it
I
can
got
happen.
caught.
It can happen.
Yeah,
Especially quick. There's a lot of quick moments.
that was a quick one, and it bit me.
Especially rifle hunting.
Yeah, that's one that like stands out in my head.
I would agree, Trail. I'm just giving you.
That's one that stands out in my head where I was like, I can't do that again. You know what I mean? Like I fell hook, line, and sinker for everything.
Dude,
Didn't even give it a second guess.
Yeah, rifle hunting deer and then archery hunting elk, I feel like, are the two. Those are hard. It's really hard to field judges animals because, especially rifle hunting deer, a lot of times you're in range. It's like I can make that happen right now.
And that's what I did.
Yeah, and you do.
Game time.
Yeah, game time.
That was out.
I said
that
game
was
time.
that situation.
Brady, what else did you have? I could tell you're stewing over there.
Yeah, what was I gonna jump into?
Would you say trail is low scoring or high scoring when he throws out a field goal
Low.
score? I agree.
Trail's low.
Conservative?
I would just say low, more
Way
so than
low.
conservative.
Maybe Trail's is pretty even keeled though.
Yeah.
He really doesn't want to get too amped up. He's just like, yeah, here's a buck. What do you guys think? And we
Yeah,
start
what did you say your
scoring.
buck was last year or 2 years ago?
What does he score?
No, what did you say he was?
Oh, I thought he was like 190.
Yeah, exactly.
190, like maybe low 190s.
And where'd he go?
Well, he was 205 and some change, but now he's like 207 now that I got those extra measurements. I don't know, he's 205
That buck
and
was
change.
so big.
Yeah.
But that buck has over 50, he has 50 inches of mass.
Yeah, and that like
Stupid.
That
that's like getting like 20-inch twos.
Dude,
Like,
you know what's
unheard of.
crazy?
that G2, hold that horn up, or that antler up. The inside of the G2 where it's like looks squared, so turn it towards me, open it up towards me, the main beam, right there. So that view, that like squared off view, your other buck this year has that it is
That wide?
very squared. It's a lot wider than that one.
You know what's crazy about that buck is he did not look overly massive on the hoof.
Horse body.
I didn't look at that buck though. That was not my like first I wasn't thinking like shit that buck is really heavy. It wasn't my first thought. I was like, man, he's really long. He looks tall, you know.
Yeah.
He's got a little kicker, but it wasn't mass. But then when I walked up on that buck, that was the first thing that I was like, I've never killed a buck this massive. Like there's a lot of mass. Yeah. The one thing I was gonna say about mass, it's one of my favorite characteristics in a buck. To be honest.
It is for sure.
Like
Even places that don't score.
Oh,
Like
it's
I
the
love,
best.
I love mass on some bladed tines.
Dude, if they
and,
carry the
like,
mass out into their tines, it's like it could be a 170 buck. But if he's heavy all the way through, I'm like,
They look
yeah,
like
that's
cucumber points instead
Uh-huh.
of pencil points.
Again,
Yeah.
that's where sometimes the Boone and Crockett, Pope and Young, SCI, whatever scoring system you want to use, does not give credit for some of these things, and that's why some of those bucks that are 170 but
Mhm.
have those characteristics are super cool.
yeah.
Like I say earlier, I love score, love chasing big deer, like, but that character too,
They also have a
that
look,
drives me
though.
crazy.
Mhm.
You know, the look is
Yeah, the look is great.
everything.
And it
The
looks
look
good
is
shooting.
Yeah, the only tip I have for mass is just like kind of basing the relative size of the eye
Yeah.
to the beam.
Was an eye like 4 inches in diameter?
4, they say in diameter, yeah. And then even like the width of the ear, right? Like if you see a buck and he's got his ear kind of up there by his main beam,
Mhm.
you're kind of gauging the width of his ear in relation to the width of like the diameter? Yeah, diameter
Yeah.
of the beam.
Mm-hmm.
Can give you like some indication of like how heavy a buck might be.
Yeah, especially when it looks straight onto you too, and they have 3 inches of space between the outside edge of the ear, so you're like, okay, that's a pretty good buck. He's
That's my favorite thing in a buck, though, is mass.
Me too.
Just
mass, boxy.
I like that hourglass. I like that hourglass, tall, narrow, heavy.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's what I like.
I like big fronts. Big fronts.
You do? That's your favorite?
'Cause that's usually gonna help score.
Does that carry into your personal life?
Yeah, I
Like
do.
the front side better than the back
I
side?
do like you guys know that. That's-
We're opposite something.
yeah, I love the front.
This podcast.
The one thing I made for my trail earlier, now people know what I like. The one thing I know before we move to elk or antelope, because I don't go long in this, but if you have to analyze and nitpick a buck, it's probably not as big as you think it is. If you're really sitting there and like, dude, he's got to be 175, he's got to be, and you're like trying to convince yourself.
Talk yourself into
You're
it.
talking yourself into it, and you're sitting there and like convincing yourself it's something bigger. It's most likely always gonna be smaller. I've done that a lot,
Mhm.
but it's like you know when you see a big deer. I mean, you will know. And your big deer for you could be 170, but if you have to talk yourself into something you think it is, but most likely it's gonna be 10, 15 inches smaller, a
Mhm.
lot. Like the more you sit there and nitpick, like, oh, we should go shoot that buck. Look at that thing. It's got this and this, and like you're giving it more than what it is.
Mhm.
That's why if they have the time and you can do it slowly, but a lot of times you don't. But if you have to talk yourself into shooting something, it's probably gonna be smaller than what it is.
Mhm.
So I like when you get in the mindset where you're like, let's just say his G2 is 15. I know it's not, but let's just say it is.
Yeah.
That's when you know like the
Yeah.
buck is
Yeah.
really big, and
Yeah.
you're just trying to like make it not as big of a deal to you. You know,
Right.
you're like, let's say it's 15.
Right.
You know,
Right.
really it's 17.
Man, good stuff. Brady, do you want to talk about elk, or do you want to just skip elk? we can talk elk.
Stock elk. I don't have anything to throw into here.
I will say I am horrible at elk.
Why?
When you want to get to like a number.
Why do you think you're
I'm
horrible at elk?
like confident in my gear scoring abilities, like to a 194 to 197. Like I'm good with that. With elk, it's it's a good bull, it's a big bull, or it's a giant bull. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean elk. I think elk are actually not. I think they're easier to score than mule deer. I think. You don't think so?
No.
Why? Because there's more points.
Yeah, well, if you have,
Yeah, but they're
If
like
you-
more uniform. They're
I-
just like.
but like you have if you're looking at like a 130 bull, and compare that to
130 ball.
330 bull. Sorry, 330
Yeah.
bull. Talking about whitetails. Now, if you have a 330 bull, you add 1 inch on every one of those tines on each side. So let's say 6. That's instantly that's 12 inches. Are you able
Yeah.
to judge 1 inch, and then obviously
No.
that mass just goes up too? So like you could be looking at 330 bull, and then but it actually could be a 350 bull, but you're just like downgrading. Like I don't know, it doesn't look like it, but it has so much mass that it's making it seem smaller.
Yeah,
and
I
just little bits add up a lot on the bull.
Yeah, mass is hard. It's definitely hard to like. I think it's hard to measure on a bull. I just think that there are like certain things at a bull that are pretty easy to nail. It's like a 50-inch beam. I think is pretty easy to nail.
Yeah, it's like a very noticeable.
It's like if he's got his head down, which they're always feeding, right? And I think the distance from the ground to the top of his back is like 50. Actually, I have this somewhere. But if his main beams, are equal or close to the hump in his back, you're looking at a bull that's about 50-inch beams, right?
Yeah.
And if you extrapolate it out, they're longer. It's like, okay, add a couple inches, or shorter, you can go down to like 45, 48, whatever it might be. I feel like that measurement is super easy to nail, and it's a huge part of their score, right? And then width. Width is, I mean, on an elk, you're going to be 35 to 40, 45 would be really wide on a bull. But I feel like that's a pretty easy one to guess. So between two main beams and the width on a bull, you have a large percentage of what their total score. I mean,
Yeah, I do. That's why I was putting them into classes of that. Like,
Do you think it's easy to put elk in a class? Like a
Yeah.
310 to a 320 to a 350?
310, 320, not so much, because you're like trying to make it something.
It's
You
not,
know what I
that's
mean?
not,
Like
yeah,
it's,
that's
you know, yeah, like a 330 to 350. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm like very confident to say like, oh, that bull's in that next class.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And then like the 370 to 390, and then anything over 400 is just like, you don't even think about it. You just say shoot it. You know.
yeah. Yeah,
So like classing a bull, I
Mhm.
feel like is easier just because of that. As soon as you get the beam and the width, you're like, okay, that's you know.
I think anytime you hit that 50-inch, like 50-inch main beams, you're looking at like a mature bull.
Big bull.
Like it's pretty rare that you would get a bull that's like north of 340, 350 that's got beams that are shorter than 50 inches. Like
Yeah.
for 45-inch main beams, he's probably not got it to hit
Yeah.
I'm kind of tracking now.
a higher score. So in
There's a fun bull my cousin showed me the other day actually to that point. He does have short beams.
Mhm.
Like I don't think they're 50, but then he has double royals on both sides.
Okay, well,
so it's
yeah.
like, well,
He's an anomaly.
he's still big. You know what
Sure.
I mean? Like, yeah, I guess you could say he has short beams, but I mean, he's got
Yeah, I mean, there's those anomalies,
like
right?
those weird things.
But most of your bulls are just going to be like slick 6 points, right? Or you might
Yeah.
hit some 7 points. You might get some abnormal points that you can add up, but I feel like it's pretty easy to be like, yeah, he's 35 wide. He's got 50-inch beams, and you can kind of start to pick out tine length, right? So, I mean, I think the distance they say is 15, 16 inches, I want to say, from like the length of their nose. And so if you've got eye guards come out, if they're hitting the end of his nose, you can reasonably assume they're 15 inches. And if they tip up on the end, then you're going to start to add up, right? So any length above and beyond the length from where they start to tip up is just added length.
Yeah.
Same with the thirds. I mean, thirds can be a little bit harder. And I would say if a bull's gonna typically in my neck of the woods, if they're gonna lose some score, it's often in the thirds. Yeah.
That's the Utah.
Yeah, they just don't have giant
Utah
thirds, but you can kind of use that gauge in relation to the nose to the eye guards and be like, okay, I think that's 16 inches. How big is that third in relation to that 16-inch first?
Yeah.
Is it 8 inches? Is it 10 inches? You can kind of extrapolate, that. The royal tine, it's straight. So it's not like there's typically not a lot of curve in it, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like you have a much better idea of reference. Like everybody kind of knows what a foot looks like. You got it in your mind, like, okay, that's a foot from the main beam. How much above and beyond does he have? He wouldn't have 2 feet, that'd be huge. But, 20-inch royal would be, it's a big royal.
Mhm.
Like I don't have any sheds, I don't think, in my house that are 20-inch royals. There's probably a few kicking around, and they definitely get big, but I don't have many. I would say most of them are gonna be like 16 to 18 would be, like a big bull.
Yeah, you start breaking 20, you're talking
Big.
real big.
Yeah. So I mean, I kind of broke it out, kind of what I'm looking for. So a big bull, typically like 40-inch spread is what you'd be looking at. Main beams, you're anywhere from like 50 plus generally, and like once you get up to like 55, I would say, yeah, that's a long main beam. My brother did kill a bull that's got 61-inch beams.
Yeah.
It's the only bull that I can ever remember killing or picking up that's got beams that long,
Wow,
super
those are
long.
big beams.
But he's only got 8-inch thirds.
Utah.
Yeah, Utah bull. G1, if you're in that 17, 18-inch range, you get them up to 20, but that would be the exception. That would be a really, really long 1 and 2.
Well, you're talking 400s.
Yeah,
When
in
you
that
start
range.
saying 20.
20.
That's
yeah.
like when people throw
20,
20s
20,
out.
20, 20.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 55-inch main beams with 20-inch tines.
Yep.
That's a
400-inch bull.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's
That's
like
a good tip.
Yeah.
That is just to put it in perspective. That's how you have to get to 400. So when people say 20-inch fronts, you're like, whoa, hold on.
And that's probably a great spot. If you just assumed like everything was 20 and then you subtracted from there,
Yeah.
You could subtract that out and be like, okay, he's probably 345 or he's
Yeah.
365 or 375, right?
Yeah.
Do you think it's easier for you then to look at a bull and put it in a class than look at a deer and put it in a class?
I do, yeah.
So you could do it really quickly. If you see a bull,
I think
like you'd be like, oh yeah, it's a
Yeah,
325.
Yeah, class of bull I feel like
I think
is easier.
classing a bull's relatively easy if you get a look at him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's why archery hunting's hard, because a bull comes in and he's screaming and he pops up at 35 yards and you're just like, oh,
Oh.
okay,
It's this
it's
guy.
a 6 point.
Yeah.
Like, it's really tough. So, I mean, if anybody's looking for tips in regards to field judging it at the moment, I would look at beams and royals. So, how much tine length does he have in the top end, and how long do those beams look?
Yeah.
And that's really the best advice I could give you, because it's like a judgment call and a snap second decision, right?
Mhm.
So they can be really tough to judge.
Do you have an average percent breakdown on bulls like we did mule deer by chance pulled up?
I don't think I have one pulled up. Let me look.
Let me see if I can pull one up here.
It's tine length and main beams. So main beams width and tine length. And then again, mass is just like a guesstimate. And you
But
could,
it could be a huge number though. It's
It
like
could be
my,
huge.
my wife's bull. I mean, we knew it was big enough that like you don't even question it. But trying to class that bull, I'm like, oh yeah, he's 370. You know, he's like probably pushing 380. He's big. He's got extras. He's got mass. Well, he
Mhm.
had so much mass, made everything else look small.
yeah.
That's a good problem to have though.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at the bull, you can definitely tell the difference between like heavy and they look spindly.
Very.
If
If they don't have mass.
yeah, and a bull elk that doesn't have a lot of mass, they look noticeably spindly.
Yeah.
Like their
Mhm.
antlers just look thin.
Yeah.
So I would
It's like,
say,
oh, those are gonna break. when
yeah,
you fight.
that's,
Like it's your
they look
immediate
fragile.
thought. Yeah.
yeah, if that's your initial gut reaction, it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's probably not got a ton of mass. And I would say, you know, maybe 28, 27, 28 inch per side in that regard. And then heavy, I would call something like anything, you know, 30 inch plus per side
So I just
or more.
or more.
About 35.
Would be a lot.
pulled up the horn
It's that
score
bull
app.
out there in the showroom.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So I just pulled up the horn score app, which I feel is a great app for people that want to, if you even just
Mhm.
measuring your stuff out, field judging. I use the guide thing a lot on there, and I actually pay for it. So like
Mhm.
I think there is some value there. On their elk breakdown for the percentage like you talked before, tine length is 45%,
Yep.
main beam 20%, mass is 18, and
Mhm.
inside spread is 10%. So it kind of flows
Pretty similar.
through similar to the to
That's
mule.
it. Like everyone.
Main beam and tine length.
Yeah,
Yep.
the whole spread thing. I mean, you're talking 10 to 12% of the overall score every time.
Yeah, and you were
It's like it's not anything.
spot on too. Some of those anatomicals of an elk. So front of eye to tip of nose. Again, using the horn score app, and they have all these little guides down here.
15 to 16.
12 to 13, front of eye to tip of nose. Tip of nose to burr of antler. That's the 16-inch.
That's the one I'm most,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's what you would use a lot.
Yep.
Is basically nose to
Because that's the
The
measure of
burrs
the
and
eye
the
guard,
16,
right?
yeah.
These ones
Yep.
and twos.
yeah.
In
So you can
essence.
judge
Mhm.
judge that. Okay.
Ear tip to ear tip, I pulled one up, 21 to 22 inches.
Hmm.
So if you're using that to like, if you want to guesstimate width, I hardly ever really look at width on a bull.
They're all just big.
I'm just looking for beams and tines.
And it's 10% of the score.
And a big back end will always get you killed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Big hiney.
On a bull elk, for
Done deal.
sure. Dude, he can have
Done deal.
12-inch fronts
But if
and
he-
giant back end.
He's throwing around
he's
the
a-
wagon up there.
Dude, he's a goner.
Yep. Totally agree.
Yeah, and then actually ear length, I pulled it up 7.5 inches is what they kind of figure out on an elk. If you need to use that as a reference point. What else did you have on elk?
Body size is really important on elk though too.
Oh man,
Oh, yeah, what was
Really
this?
important.
The guide on the elk for.
Because there are some young bulls that have so much good stuff going on.
yeah, I'll have to show you. I have some video of some bulls that a guy sent me. There's two bulls together. The one of them has got an absolute horse of a body. I mean, a giant body.
Yeah.
The other bull looks bigger. Like at first glance, you'd be like, "Oh, that's the bigger bull." He's got an extra second on one side, and you would think like that's the bigger bull. But I think if you were just real quick at the two different body sizes, you'd be like, even though this one doesn't have the length, I think that's the bigger bull.
Yeah.
He's got shorter fives on both sides, but his main beams are super long and he is infinitely more heavy.
Yeah. So body size on elk is, because some of those younger bulls will put on some like really good looking stuff going on. Then you see they're 5 years younger, 6 years younger than something else standing next to it, and you're like, oh shit.
What class of bull would you say, like at a glance, you just look at a bull, at what class would you say your gut instinct is like that's a big bull?
Big?
Like for you.
Like a big bull, 340.
That's me too. Same number. That's the first number that pops in my head.
Like when you see a 340 bull, you're like,
That's a big bull.
That's a big bull.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I would say if your gut reaction is like, that's a big bull, he's probably at least 340.
Yeah.
If you've looked at enough.
That's what, like, when I'm talking about classes, it's like the 340 to 360, 365 range, and then it's like,
Then they look-
shit,
Then they look alien.
that is a really big bull.
Yeah.
And then you get past that and you're like, that fucker's trying to issue.
Yeah, I've seen a few in my lifetime. You look at him and you're just like, that does not look real.
Yeah.
If you're looking at a bull that's that big, he's probably 380 plus, right?
Yeah, when it's just
When they look
freakishly big.
freakishly unreal, you're
Yeah.
like, that doesn't even look like it could be.
Yeah.
Then you're looking at something real special.
Yeah.
That's
like
a
that bull
no-brainer.
on Omar's deer hunt. And I just could not stop looking at him. Even though he was on a buck, and I'm like, nah, dude.
Oh, really?
I gotta watch this bull. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're special.
It is it is such a big bull.
You got any other tips as far as like if you have to make a snap judgment in your bow hunting and you want to try to kill
I'm not good at that.
a big bull?
I'm terrible at that. But of course, like, yeah, beams and back end length.
Mm-hmm.
What's an easy way to judge like a 300-inch 6-point? Isn't that what everyone's kind of goal is out there? Like
Yeah, he's
Like-
gonna have like 45-inch beams probably. So if he's got his head down, he's gonna be slightly shorter than the hump in his back, and then, probably 12, 13, 14-inch fronts. So you can kind of look at that relationship, with, like I said, from the bird to the front of his nose, and then he'll just look average. He'll look completely average across the board.
He'll look like a 5'8", 170-pound human. Just
Yeah.
like not gonna stand out.
Yeah. I mean, I can't really think of anything other off the top of my head. I think main beams is like one of the easiest things to tell. And generally, if you're 50 inches, you're starting to get up into like the, 310, 320, 330 class bulls when you get above that beam length. So I feel like that's the easiest one, especially where they've always got their head down. You can always compare that in relation to the top of
To
the
that
back.
point though, where you're saying 310, 320, 330, that's why 340 is a big bull. Because to get there, you need mass too. You need good time length. You need width. You need beams. It's like that's that first one that stands out. Where you're like, damn,
I don't get
that's a big
really
bull.
I mean, when I say it's easy to class bulls, maybe I'm not as good as I think I am between like 300 and 320.
I would agree with, me too. I would agree.
I feel like they all just kind of blend in together. I'm like, that bull
Average,
could be
yeah.
305 or he could be 320. He's just kind of in between. Then once they hit like 330, I feel like they start to look big, and then 340, I'm like, yeah, that's a big bull.
That's a big
They start to look
yeah.
big.
Yeah.
You guys want to talk antelope before we move
I mean, the
on?
thing with elk
Yeah.
though too, like those snap decisions you're saying, everyone's got personal preference. Like, I don't care if it's a 300-inch 5x6 and he comes in screaming in my face and throwing caution into the wind, not trying to like circle and get downwind to me. He's just coming right. I'm shooting that bull. Like that's an experience that like I don't care if he's a 300-inch 5x6 or a 340 bull. Doesn't matter to me. I'm shooting him.
It's
He's
interesting
coming in.
because
He's mad. Like he's
Yeah.
on a string. He's not being cautious. Like this is awesome.
I've had very few elk tags in my life. 2, maybe, that I can think of where I gave that many rips about like what a bull scored.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I wanted to kill a 6-point. In a lot of cases, like that's kind of the goal. But as far as like score, I've maybe only ever had 2 tags ever where I actually was kind of shopping bulls, being like, is that bull this or is he this? I'm gonna go after that one.
Yeah. It's usually
Pretty
it's
rare.
like you and I going into New Mexico.
Mhm.
Like, dude,
Yeah.
he's coming in.
If he's a 6-point and he comes
6-point,
ripping in, yeah.
ripping into a call. Like, dude.
Well, we talked about it then.
Yeah.
That bull that I shot, we were like, first 6 point that walks into range, like either of us
He
that has
came
the
in on a
opportunity.
string
Yeah,
to the cow call.
We're gonna lace him, and we did. Yeah.
That's what I like about elk.
Good job, Trail.
That's like the fun. That's the fun.
That's why elk are superior. They're funner
It's
animals.
just so fun.
No.
Then you get into
See, mule deer are like so unfun. You have to like
you get into
make
the
it
weeds.
worth your while.
I know.
You know,
That's why
If
they're
I'm gonna
fun.
go-
When it happens, it's awesome.
if I'm gonna
It
go
doesn't
make
happen
my
very often.
eyes bleed for
Mhm.
10 days and see pretty much nothing. There's no
Yeah.
noises going on. Like it, these better be worth my time.
What do you got about antelope?
Lorenzo has a herd of antelope. So
I was
you are
more
the
so.
most
I was
experienced.
more so kidding. You guys took me way too serious on this one.
Well, I think it's interesting.
Easiest way to judge a good mature, like let's say 75-inch antelope. That's a goal.
Cutters and height,
Mass.
because it makes up so much of the score,
Mass.
right?
Mass. Oh, it's just like a sheep. It's those goat sheep species. It's
Mhm.
mass. It's all mass. I don't care how tall he is. Like people talking about tall animal. I don't care. How big is the base?
And how do you judge that? Just in relation to his eye?
Yeah, and they get like. I've been fortunate to harvest a bunch of them. And the herd on my
You do have a
wall.
herd.
I love hunting pronghorn. They get like they'll get real flat and squared, and if they have more mass, they'll actually get like oval.
Rounded out.
Yeah, like rounded. And if you see that, and it's got that big blocky square look.
So you almost need the profile and the face on.
I do. Yeah, I
Mhm.
can't score it just from one look. No way. But if I get a side profile and then a head on, and I get the side profile and it's got that big blocky look, and then he turns and looks at me and he's got an oval like swell. It looks like they're swelled.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like they're waterlogged almost.
Yeah.
Then it's like, oh shit, that's it.
Yeah. As you're talking, I'm thinking normally an antelope, yeah, they're longer
Yeah.
than they are wide.
Yep.
Yes.
But as they get bigger, that relationship changes. So the
Changes.
width gets wider
Yes.
and the length is long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Like the way I picture it in my mind is it looks like they got waterlogged. Like they just swelled up in a bucket of water.
Yep.
And that's what gives them that mass on the bottom. And then I go from there to cutters because I like cutters.
just like the look of
But
color.
mass is literally all I look at.
Mass.
Yeah.
2-inch eye diameter across average eye,
Okay.
and then
Yeah.
ear length is about 6 inches. From everything
So you can get length on that.
you can get length by doubling it. 12, obviously one
Yeah.
longer. Obviously, if they hook and curl, that adds extra length.
And I
on
like
the
that
inside.
look too.
That heart look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what
Ivory
I go
tips.
from mass. I want to make sure they have mass, and then from there it's like, do they look cool?
Yeah.
Do they have good cutters? Do they curl in? And that obviously adds up to score, obviously, but
And then the cutter on an antelope, you measure from the back of the horn
the
actually.
middle,
The middle back of the horn.
back of the
It
horn
wraps
and
all the
around.
way around to
Yeah.
the front end of the cutter.
Yeah.
What's your favorite look on an antelope?
Big.
Oh, body. I will say too.
Body
Another
size
one.
matters a lot on antelope.
Ooh, body size is like ultra important. The sheep goat species body size is very important.
Yeah, big blocky head, black.
Big old alien
yeah,
face.
big old alien face.
Yeah.
Are you like a mass, a horn length, or are you like a cutter guy?
Mass.
You're
And
mass?
I like some height too.
I like mass and cutters. That's
Like
right.
if they're tall, that's pretty dope. I like a big tall buck too. That looks sick. Mostly, I mean, to be honest, I just take antelope at like first glance usually, and usually it is a bad idea for me to look at one buck, or 2 bucks. Like I want to look at as many bucks as I possibly can. But I feel like antelope, it's almost easier to tell a big antelope, which is weird because people will be like, well, he's only got 2 points, right? You got the main, the main beam, the
Yeah,
hook,
so
and
if
then,
those 2 points look big though,
But-
it's like
but to me, like, if you see a true, like an 80-inch antelope, there's no question that is a F-me giant.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like,
I
they
would agree.
just look big.
yeah, I would completely agree with that.
They look really big. And that's the look I like.
Yeah,
You just like big.
Big antelope, yeah. Yeah. Dude, and I've killed 2, that were, either at or pushing that number, and both of those looked enormous on the hoof. Like,
Yeah.
they just looked big.
I need to kill a big antelope. I think the biggest antelope I have is 73. My bow. I need to.
I got that one that I
Big
killed
one.
that I greened out. The taxidermist greened him out like 84.
That is
A big antelope, and then I got
Big
one that we
buck.
greened out like 81. And both of them looked enormous.
They looked enormous enough.
They looked ginormous. The one that went 84 looked unbelievably big.
yeah.
Like when I shot him at 26 yards out of a blind, and when he came in with a bunch of does. I was having a nap, but I knew him. I'd seen him before, and I picked my head up and looked at him, and that was the one thing I remember is like, oh, holy shit, that he looks huge.
Yeah.
He looked so big.
Yeah.
Profile, he looked tall.
I
and
killed
he
an
just looked big.
84-inch buck out of Nevada with my wife. Very first hunt I ever took my wife on with me. She was pregnant at the time, and I was parked in the shade of a telephone pole,
Mhm.
like a big power line pole. I was parked right in the shade of it, put the shade on the passenger and driver so she could fall asleep. And I was like kind of in and out of just relaxing and whatever, and I could see some antelope in the distance, but they were coming closer to us, and the heat waves, I couldn't really tell much. And I was kind of in and out of taking a nap. She was dead asleep. And the same kind of thing, when they finally did get close enough, he came out on the snow and I put my binos up, it was just immediate, like, holy shit,
Mm-hmm.
like what is that? And he was 84.
They look so
They-
cool when they're facing you.
He looked so big, it was crazy. And he was just standing perfectly up on the snow where I could really only see like barely any of his neck and just
Mhm.
head, and it looked gigantic.
I also like freak antelope. I think those are cool. Like, cause you
Just
see,
got something funky going on.
you get those antelope that have like the one horn growing down, or he's got one growing sideways.
You're talking about my white elephant there.
You don't have one of those.
I've hunted antelope a lot, like a ton, on way too many tags. And all I've wanted to find is horns either going forward or ones that curl forward.
Oh yeah.
I've yet to find.
Yeah.
Yeah. They go up and curl this way.
Yeah, I love it. The ones that instead of
Yeah.
curling like a heart, they
Yep.
just tip all the way forward.
Mm-hmm.
Can't find
Well, we gotta start
them.
looking.
I've killed 23 antelope now, I think. I've yet to have any of those.
Yeah, that is.
You gotta get back on the antelope train.
I do need to get back on it. The kids really took that one out of me.
Be a great kid hunt. Out
The
there
problem is they go back to school.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it is right this time.
Yeah,
It's
today
a-
was first day.
That's the hard part. It's like I used to, before kids, that was my go-to. It was such a good hunt to get back in the swing of things and get going, and tons of opportunity between all the states. It's like that was my go-to, and now with the kids, it's really put a
Yeah, it's hard
now.
with those season days.
Right when football starts, hockey starts, school starts, it's like right now. And none of us are in, like, my wife's not into the swing of it, I'm not in the swing of it, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's like just a very stressful time to be on right now.
Yep. Any closing thoughts, Brady, on our discussion today?
No, shoot what you like. That's all I gotta say.
That's a good take on. We did a lot of talking
I'm
about
a
score.
look guy all day long.
No matter what it is, shoot what you're happy with. It's your tag. You can do what you want with it.
Yeah.
With more experience, you can decide to pass things up for other reasons or whatever you feel like. Do what you want at the end of the day.
Yep. If you have a valid tag, do it legally. That's all I care.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. Other than
And if
that,
it gets you going in the moment,
yeah,
it could literally just be the moment,
The moment.
too, like whatever that moment is.
for sure.
Like, I killed a 3-point with my bow, I don't know how many years ago that was, with my son, and he was literally standing on my hip with me. And we cut him off perfectly, didn't know we were there. I'm like, this is it. Like, I don't give a shit what he is. Like,
Yeah.
my kid was standing right with me. So in that moment, I'm like, yep, here we go.
I like that.
Game time.
Did Campos text you?
It's like,
He texted me.
did he?
Yeah.
No, he hasn't texted me yet.
Game time, he said with the
But
laughing
like in that,
emoji.
if my son wasn't with me, would I have done it? Probably not. Actually, I know for a fact I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
But dude, he was on my hip. He saw the arrow come off my string.
For sure.
It was awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. Core memory.
Beyond core memory.
Yeah, and good luck to everybody, myself included.
Good luck to you, Trail.
And give
I
myself
know I'm
a
excited
little,
for you.
Gonna give myself a little good luck and
I have
hopefully
to
it works out.
vicariously live through you in August.
Well, I'll let you guys know.
Manifest something.
We're gonna do it.
Keep the comms high. I want to know what's going on.
Sounds good. I gotta please.